to consider a motion for dismissal as the defense accuses prosecutors of withholding ammunition evidence.
In particular, a box of ammunition that was allegedly brought to the set of Rust by someone other than the armorer who has already been convicted of involuntary manslaughter, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. The defense argues that the existence of that ammunition bolsters Baldwin's argument that he would have had no idea that live ammunition would have been on set. So then we had the extraordinary view of the judge asking to look at that ammunition, donning forensic gloves and examining it in court herself.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Santa Fe. The bribery case against New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and two businessmen has just gone to the jury after more than 9 weeks in federal court. America is listening to Fox News.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land. The place where you can do so much walking. You can walk to work, the bus stop, or the gym, where you can pretend you're walking up an endless flight of stairs. Even when you're flying somewhere, you can take a really long walk through the airport. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, and it's even more relaxing when you protect your boat with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
If you had $1 million in 2009, today it would be worth less than $700,000. Thank you, big government. Hedge against runaway inflation with gold from Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. I trust Birch Gold, and you can too.
Text the word PROTECT to the number 989898 and get a free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Look out. Have a different style here on Let It Rip Friday. How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 303 with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports track on tour extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls. It's Flounder. And here's the number, 404-741-1230. I'm hoping you got something on your mind, especially after last night. Holy smokes. Good God. And by the way, I mean, we're going to talk a lot about it, but there's other things. We're going to get tired of it after a while. But I was taking notes. I said, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I mean, holy crap.
3 gaffes in like 4 minutes.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, home mother Russia, and somebody else was his commander-in-chief. I mean, God, what an idiot. Aside from the, President Putin, and then he gets Vice President Trump. I mean, well, we're going to play it all. I mean, it's just hysterical. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. And there's a montage. I thought for sure. In fact, we'll get to it. First of all, we'll start this way. We're going to talk about that all today. Also, we got some weird stories in the news, a lot of politics and stuff. Also, the latest on how much and why Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, hates Carmela's side piece. Also, I am an AT&T phone customer. And I don't know, there was a breach of 110 million AT&T customers. Okay.
Well, not you. I'm sure not.
But not. I mean, I don't know any. I don't do anything on my phone. I've never put my, Social Security card or things on my phone. I don't. I mean, I've talked on it with my numbers, and I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Now, do you have an AT&T phone?
No.
How about you, Flounder? Do you have an AT&T phone?
Yes, I do.
And have you noticed anything about this breach? They say they have call and text records of 110 million.
I mean, they already have all that information. So, I mean,
and they're saying it does not include customer names, but you can figure out how to get them if you have the other identities, I guess. And was illegally downloaded from the workspace called Snowflake, some sort of cloud platform. It had records of calls and texts. And those calls are text, but not personal information like Social Security number. So I don't know whether it's in a big deal. But anyway, but it's still the fact that somebody could break in and get the information of 110 million people from one company.
But those Dominion voting machines are completely safe.
Totally safe. In fact, honestly, didn't somebody prove in a demonstration that you could fix them? That you could make them have different numbers?
Yeah.
So why didn't that? So how come that doesn't count as a thing to make sure it was a bad? Oh, God, I mean, anyway. Well, I mean, we'll
Money.
talk about it. Yeah, I know. Also, wait to hear about the biology teacher in Sacramento, California. Let me give you a quick example of one of the test questions. It's a genetics thing, and he's trying to compare students, and he actually uses their names. I'll fill in a couple of names he didn't, and the story doesn't have. But for example, question this is the teacher's question biology test. In high school, there are individuals who are cross-eyed, like Bill and Stobme, which is a dominant trait. We call those individuals weirdos. So if you cross two weirdos like Bill and Harvey, they are heterozygotes for being cross-eyed. What is the offspring that would result? He actually used their names. If you're big and fat like Laura, I mean, if you're Puerto Rican fence climber like Jose, I mean, it was unbelievable. Anyway, so also a pregnant woman on a plane wants to go to first class for free because she's uncomfortable and really pregnant. And the stewardess said, I'm sorry, I can't. That's illegal. I'll get fired if I let you sit up here for nothing. Anyway, so it was stuff like that. We got weird stuff going on in the news and some weird animal stories. Holy cow. Bears and elephants and crocodiles good grief. Anyway, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, it's a Letter Up Friday. Anything goes. We'll have a lot of politics, but, if you have something on your mind or we can help you with something or leftover stuff, I mean, every day's the same. It's a radio show, so we know what's on your mind and things like that. Our number, 404-741-1230. And we're going to play a bunch of the sound bites from last night. I can't believe it. He said anyway, when he's trying to think of another thing and a segue and he loses his track, he goes, so I was going out there anyway. And then he flicks his hands. He goes, anyway. He said anyway more times last night than I think the Rhino says, hey, on the morning show. I mean, it's just, you could do an over-under count on those. I think the Rhino still has the record. Hey, what? Did I miss something? Which is good because if you're doing something in the background and the radio's on, and he get your attention again. So that's important. Okay, first of all, I got an angry nitpick. And I haven't heard any results yet, but here's the deal. It's 3:08 in the afternoon. That's 1:08 in the afternoon in Denver, Colorado. Many days ago, like a week ago, Friday, Saturday, whatever, many days ago, I was sending my daughter, I got a really cool gift and a couple of things of earrings and got some stuff for it and put it in a little box, a fairly lightweight box, probably by 8 inches by 10 inches, kind of a box, square box. Very lightweight. And I took it to UPS because I didn't want to. The post office is having its problems. We told Atlanta's number 50 of all the states in on-time delivery of mail. So I've had a problem with that before. You've heard that before. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go to UPS. So I went to UPS and I said, and the guy was a Marine, by the way, up near the stable. So he's got a Marine Corps shirt on, and I said, oh, cool, let's separate that. I said, okay, I've got my daughter's birthday is next week, and I've got to get it there. I said, can you get it there like Tuesday? He says, oh, sure, no problem. I said, well, now, if you say that, but what is the latest you think it would happen if it doesn't get there Tuesday? So for Wednesday for sure. I said, are you serious? Because her birthday is Friday, and I'd hate for it. He says, oh, no, you don't even think about not getting it there by Friday. I said, okay, great. So I paid him money, off we go. Well, it hasn't gotten there yet. Her birthday's today. And I mean, and she doesn't, and I've talked to her about it. She doesn't care. I mean, she's not 14 or 9 or whatever. So it's not like, she hasn't heard from daddy because I put stuff on internet and Facebook things with the horses and stuff. Anyway, but the fact, here we go again. I went to UPS because you can't trust the post office yet till they fix their system. And UPS, the guy, told me it would get there and it's still not there. I mean, and my daughter Jennifer, her birthday thing was 6 weeks late in the post office from the mail. And now even UPS, I guess I'm going to freaking FedEx and do everything overnight for $112 for a 3-ounce envelope. I mean, this is outrageous. I mean, I can't believe freaking UPS. Oh, their new slogan. We don't care about your stupid daughter's birthday. We're UPS. I don't think that's going to fly. I can see it on the side of the trucks. In fact, the next UPS truck, I think I'll write that slogan right there on the side of the truck. I got some nice, big yellow magic marker, maybe spray. I got a spray paint gun. That's a UPS, a new slogan. We don't really give a crap about your stupid daughter. Ours is UPS, something like that, maybe. God. I mean, come on, people. What the hell's going on around this freaking... Well, I know we know what's going on.
Everything's collapsing.
Service industry's gone. People can't, and I guess because they don't hire people. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't like it. And it's just, and I'm sorry to Sarah, and she doesn't care. She's sweet. She, there's no big deal because it's going to get there, and I'm here, and she's there. So it's not, it's not a thing, but it's a thing to me. Damn it! This is, there's too much of this kind of crap going on. What happened? I mean, it's just basic responsibility and being decent. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done with that. So, a quick thing, 311, and you might get a kick out of this. I'm lucky I found the picture. G. Gordon Liddy's in the news today, and one of our history things coming up here shortly. And I remembered, I said, oh my God, I've got a picture of G. Gordon Liddy. Back when I was doing TV work and I was on ABC WLS in Chicago, Gordon Liddy came into town after he gotten out of prison. And so I went to do an interview with him. And at the time, for some reason, I said, what the hell? I was going to meet the crew out at the place. So I said, what the hell? I'll drive my Harley. So I'm in my three-piece suit. And I guess it was it was a suit. And I hop on my Harley and drove out to the scene of the interview. And we're getting ready to leave. And G. Gordon Liddy, after the interview, walks on and says, oh, great Harley. I says, yeah. He said, oh, is that yours? I said, yes. Oh, let me take it for a ride. I said, no. No. He would have disappeared. I mean, G. Gordon Liddy, there's a video of him. I took the picture this morning of him on my Harley. And he's ready to try to fire it up. Luckily, I had the key in my pocket, but he was on my Harley, wanted to take off on it. G. Gordon Liddy. I mean, I don't know why that's so funny. He talked about holding his hand over the flame and being in prison and all. I mean, it was just, my God, G. Gordon Liddy.
I love the Robert Conrad portraying him in the TV movie. That was the best.
I interviewed Robert Conrad, and I said the dumbest thing I've ever said to a guy on TV and on my interview set either. He was a really nice guy. He seems like a really terrific fellow. But this was back in the 70s, my God. Anyway, 313, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. If you have memories of something in your life, we'd love to. Well, anyway, 404-741-1230. What's that?
I have a memory.
What do you do?
My dad was right once again. He told me when I was a little boy, he said, son, anybody in this great country of ours can grow up to be president of the United States. And you know what? Yeah. With that idiot in there right now, he's absolutely right.
He's right. And in fact, speaking of that, I remember the time, the most important thing I've ever heard from my father. My father told me, son, always, never, he said, son, never... No, wait, hold on. He said, if you ever come across, what the hell was it? 330. So it's a son, be careful. Always watch out. What the hell was it? Never, always. I don't know. I can't. So, don't ever remember when See, you were supposed to have gone to this commercial a long time ago. Now we're at Freeport.
The 2024 election is in sight, and it's time for conservatives to stop being polite.
This is the ball game. This is for all the marble. This is like
this is for the country.
This is 8 years of turmoil.
The voices you need during the biggest election of our lifetime are only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com.
Garage door, please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All, the number 4, seasonsgarages.com.
This is House Call for Health. A reminder to parents from federal safety officials about protecting children from household hazards. Many kids are injured every year in the home, but the Consumer Product Safety Commission says you can greatly reduce the risk with simple safety devices, including safety latches and locks for cabinets and drawers in bathrooms and kitchens to help prevent poisoning and other injuries. To help prevent electrocution, you can get outlet covers or outlet plates so no little curious fingers find their way in. And then there are window guards to help prevent children from falling out of windows, and of course, using cordless window coverings. There are other steps you can take, including anchoring your furniture and appliances to the wall. 94% of reported tip-over fatalities happen in the home. You can get more helpful tips and information at cpsc.gov, or for more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Election coverage is more than polls and numbers. It's about what matters in your life and your community. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station cares about your community, your voice, and most importantly, your vote. So keep it all here for the latest and download the Extra 1063 app and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Here we go. I just got some weird reaction on my Facebook posting a moment ago there.
There is nothing that is wrong.
There we go.
Wanting you to stay here.
Eric Clapton, on this day 2013, was showing off pretty good with his car. Eric Clapton displayed his exclusive one-off Ferrari, the Ferrari SP12EC, at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in Britain. He took part in the Michelin Supercar Run. His SP12EC apparently cost, I guess, it's £3 million. What's that? Like $5 million, pound of $1.50 or something like that. So it's over like $4 or $5 million. Was made exclusively by Ferrari's secretive one-off program, which can make bespoke cars for special clients. When's the last time you used bespoke in a sentence?
Well, when you talk about suits,
that's a great word.
Bespoke suits.
That's a beautiful word. I don't know why I think that's just a lovely word for some reason. Let's see. Our birthday list includes the hideous Bill Cosby, is 87, still avoiding hell. And by the way, just for the record, let me ask you this. All right, we know clearly he drugs and rapes women, or did. I mean, and whether he got away with one or two. No, I mean, he got convicted of one. He's just on another trial for another.
Throw it out.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, if he did all those things, would he obviously go to hell?
If
he hasn't said,
can't answer that question.
I'm fairly curious. I don't know.
By the way, 3 million pounds is 3.8 million American dollars.
Really? So it's just a little bit over. Well, they've really changed the value of a pound.
Yeah, 1 pound is $1.2.
Oh my God, $1.20? That can't be right. No, really? Okay.
It's gone
that's
down.
really gone down a lot. Anyway, Bill Cosby, 87. Okay, I just thought I'd throw it out there. And when Tony Soprano said, hell's only for guys like Pol Pot and Hitler. It's not for warriors. The mafia and the bad guys are warriors. So Bill Cosby was a warrior in the fight against women. So I guess he would probably go to heaven.
Yeah. That's how you're going to get your ecclesiastical advice from Tony Soprano.
Well, they've worked it out.
TV character.
Look at Big Paulie. Big Paulie worked out. He says you got your venal things, and then you got your moral things, and so you add those up. And he said, I'll be like spending 3,500 years in purgatory. Hell, in purgatory with eternity, that's like a weekend. Do that standing on my head. So that answers everything. Everybody knows that.
Very careful there, my friend.
Whoa. Boy, you always got to top me. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. History list. A couple of old war type things. 1862, the U.S. Congress authorized the Medal of Honor. And incidentally, the Medal of Honor is not won, it's awarded. So you would not appropriate. People do it and they make a mistake and they don't know any better. So now I'm giving you a little information for the record. If you say so-and-so was awarded the Medal of Honor, it's correct. You would never say so-and-so won the Medal of Honor. You don't win medals, awards. You are awarded them. It's not a contest to win it. Anyway, sorry, it's important to the Kimmer because nobody likes the military anymore. And so I'm saying things that...
Oh, come on.
Oh, stop.
All your listeners
1864. No, I don't think... our listeners do. Our listeners do.
Yes.
But this country, still doesn't give a crap.
Okay. Where I live, everybody loves the military.
Yeah, but you live. There's only 9 people on the freaking mountain, so it's not exactly the same thing. I got freaking hillbillies where they got 9.
Whoa, what's that? Be careful.
But those
be very careful there, my friend.
I'm saying those are the ones you can count on to be patriots. They got their flags flying. They got their hunting dogs. They got their guns. I love those people. Those are the only people you can trust. Anyway, on the patriotism thing, okay, that was 1862 in the Medal of Honor. 1864, same day, President Lincoln actually witnessed the battle on the outskirts of Washington, D.C., where Union forces repelled Jubal Earle's Army of the South. And Lincoln was there to watch. In fact, a lot of the battles near there, townspeople would go in their carriages and watch from hilltops and watch the battles of the Civil War.
That first one, Bull Run, Manassas, depending who you believe and who you listen to, what the name of it is, they went out there to watch the Union win, and the Confederates routed them and chased them all the way back to D.C. It should have gone in and burned the city, but they didn't.
But can you imagine, say, hey, honey, let's say take a picnic and go out there and watch the battle for a while? I mean, jeez, unbelievable. 322, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, by the way, I didn't really finish the whole story. G. Gordon Liddy's coming up here later on in the thing. I was taking some pictures of him on my Harley. I did some video, and I realized I saw some pictures I hadn't seen in a while of 2 things that Neil Borch brought up the other day. Pete, we were talking with Neil. What's today? Friday? Was yesterday.
Yesterday.
And he asked the question, would you rather be in the ocean with a killer whale or a shark or a nurse shark?
Nurse shark.
And I said,
nurse shark all day long.
And I said nurse shark for sure. And he said, no. He said, killer whales don't eat people. Remember that? He made a big thing. He says, killer whales have never eaten a person. I said, how the hell do you know that? Anyway, he said, killer whales don't eat people. And nurse sharks do. Well, on my Facebook page and on YouTube, I put the video of me holding up out of the water a giant nurse shark in my arms. And the other picture, the video goes with it also, is of me holding a giant stingray out of the water from Stingray Sandbar Beach of Acapulco or Cancun or someplace. What's the other place you used to go snorkeling all the time? Not Maui. Off of Mexico someplace. There's Acapulco, Cancun.
Nobody.
Anyway, whatever. So you can see me holding these great big old things. And that was cool, by the way. And I know it's wrong because you're taking fish out of their natural habitat. I don't care. I paid the guy good money to get those pictures. 324, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's do some fun here, Flounder. Let's have fun. Last night, I couldn't believe this. Let's start with cut number 1. Here's President Stupid Face, who, by the way, is not a person that you should be respecting. Never feel sorry for this man. He's a criminal and a crook and a freaking pervert. And here's one of his first mistakes he made almost immediately last night, if you would.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
And I love that he calls her she.
The fact is that the consideration...
He never corrected himself.
He kept going.
And there's a video on Twitter of Anthony Blinken and some of his other cabinet members sitting there and just watching them react as he said it.
In fact, I've got some coming up on the people who were his cabinet recoiling at the epic flub. In fact, the first one, Anthony Blinken allowed his gaze to drop dolefully as if staring off into space as the president poured gasoline on the chances of his re-election. Let's see, Jake Sullivan, national security advisor to the president, put his hand to his mouth like he was going to throw up. Defense Chief Lloyd Austin tried to control his gaze, staring unblinkingly at the commander-in-chief, and then tried to make some kind of a nod. I mean, what a bunch of... And if you see the videos of some of the other reactions, we got memes coming up all over the place.
Oh, yeah, we got all kinds
let me
of
play another couple of cuts here. just to get set, in case you missed it. And again, I mean, this was, right off the top. He called, he said, our home mother, Russia, or so. I mean, it's just one after another. Let's play cut number 2. In fact, here's another great example. Listen to how he identifies his staff people. Flounder number 2, sir. Right over there with a number 2 cut there for Flounder.
I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, my
commander-in-chief,
the chief of staff of the military, as well
chief of
as
staff of the military,
defense, and our intelligence people.
What the hell is that? He doesn't even know his people. I'm telling you. Remember, he called Becerra Baccaria, his cabinet member. And remember that when he was first, the very first one, he said, "Yeah, the guy in the big building, that general over there, it was his Secretary of Defense."
And you know what? Something else we just found out that they've been hiding from us. He hasn't had a cabinet meeting for 10 months.
Yeah, it's been about a year.
And Jake Tapper's like, I can't believe that. Well, maybe if you did your damn job, you'd know it.
Yeah. How could you possibly not know what's going on in there?
Imagine if Reagan or Trump had gone 10 months without a cabinet meeting.
Yeah. And again, in fact, let's do... by the way, this was a mystery to me. And again, I think everything was set up. I love it when he says, well, my staff told me who to call on. Can you imagine Donald Trump saying, well, they told me who to pick on in the audience? I mean, my God. I mean, and it used to be, remember Helen Thomas at UPI? For years and years and years, for decades, there was a protocol at a presidential news conference, and they would start with the senior reporter in the room or in the White House press corps, and that was at the time for decades Helen Thomas at UPI, and they call on her first, and then they would go UPI, then AP and Reuters, and then it would go down the thing. Well, now it's a whole different story because the staff is picking the people that they want to ask the questions for a very good reason, and you know that they piped those questions when they told those people, his staff people were telling them who to call on, and you know that the staff then told the people in the press corps that they were going to be called on, and what do you want to ask them? Well, give us an idea of what he should be prepared for so he knows how to answer your question. And he said, oh, that's a great idea, which is planting the questions and the answers beforehand. And secondly, Flounder, let's do sound cut number 3. This had to do with, which is still a mystery to me, about what the hell was going on and who's talking to him in his ear.
And then I got a call from the Swedes. I beg your pardon? And so Finland...
He had an earpiece.
It sounds like somebody in the crowd said something to him.
No matter what. I mean, again, it's just he stops and pauses and doesn't know what to do or what to say. My God. I mean, it's like, I can't believe it. It's like you give a 10-year-old the controls to an airplane and say, okay, kid, have a ball. He doesn't know what to touch first, doesn't know where to... I mean, this is unbelievable. Honestly, I mean, and what we're going to talk more about this a little later. Many of the leaders, despite what you're hearing about now, more and more, it's 19 or 20 or 21 top Democrats, elected Democrats, are saying, please, my God, don't run, get off the ticket. And yet, the official comments from top Democrats around the country are, boy, he killed it. Man, he showed he knows his international...
They've gone to the point, they've lied so much, it's so used to it. Some of their top ones, like that Harry Sisson kid and all this other stuff, literally said he didn't have any teleprompters. He had no notes.
Right.
Where he had a note there telling him who to talk to. Yeah. He had a binder that at the end of it, he folded over and held in front of him like this, like it was body language. Please, someone get me out of here. Yeah. And then he stood there when they said it was time to leave, and he just stood there staring at everybody. He didn't know what to do, which is why they asked him that last question, which was disastrous. Well, President Trump's making fun of you. What do you have to say to that? And he says, listen to him. Listen to Trump, which was a disastrous way to walk out on that. And he had 2 teleprompters there. Yeah. But they're so used to us being idiots and believing, they just look you right in the eye and say, oh, no, there's no teleprompters. There's no notes.
And by the way, I give the press almost a failing grade. They did finally ask a couple. And finally someone said, by the way, you called Donald Trump your vice president. And it's at the end. I mean, I thought they were, remember, I said they should have made him cry. They should have attacked him. Instead, they let him very politely and very respectfully said, well, what do you say about your cognitive ability? And he gives this mumbly answer, and they let it go.
The Polish guy was a complete stooge for the DNC. He goes, "How are you doing today, President Biden?" "Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?" "Oh, it's fine." And then he led into a softball question to lob at him.
And by the way, no one ever said, "What do you mean the economy's great? What are you talking about? It was 9% inflation, and now it's." I mean, no one ever challenged him. Well, they tried to ask the questions, but they never nailed him.
The funny thing is even the softball questions he couldn't answer. He would just start mumbling and going on and on and on. And it didn't make sense.
Yeah, and his favorite word, which we'll play here shortly, coming up, and more about the thing last night. And what do you think? What's your reaction? 404-741-1230 with a Carrot, Pete, and Flounder. Pete's tweets, we got some reaction to Flounder's funnies, and your calls, and having a little fun on Let Her Rip Friday with a Carrot, Pete, and Flounder.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
2 more Georgia football players were arrested and charged with reckless driving. Jonathan Bo Hughley was booked in Athens Clark County Jail on charges of failure to maintain lane and reckless driving and was involved in a single car crash. The following night, Smile Munden was charged with reckless driving and racing on the street. The school has not released any comment. A Carroll County deputy was surprised after he was called out by Michelle Turner to talk to her grandson about the dangers of riding his bike on a busy highway. The deputy found 3 minors at the location and was told by the kids that they were home alone. The grandmother, Michelle Turner, said she was tired of taking care of all the kids that belonged to Jessica and Steve Bailey. The deputy reported the stench of animal urine and feces, no food in the house, and no cooling system. Jessica and Steve were arrested for cruelty to children and transported to the Carroll County Jail.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Echo and Howard Brothers. Looking for powerful, eco-friendly tools? Discover Echo's E-Force Battery Tool Series. They will make your hard work outside much easier. With long-lasting battery life, less maintenance, and exceptional performance, Echo E-Force tools are perfect for any job, big or small. Stop into your local Howard Brothers today and power up your lawn experience with Echo Power Equipment. Howard Brothers is your trusted source for all of your outdoor needs. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
It's that time of year again when the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck, brings back the 4th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want to help give back to the community, all you have to do is sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make the 4th annual Christmas in July for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Central services all makes and models. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. So call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to sign up for a maintenance agreement and help Chuck and Central Heating and Air give back to the community. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Who says you have to wait until December to celebrate Christmas? Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon. Right now at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating Christmas in July in all of our locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. Stop in today and enjoy our 12 days of deals on everything in our stores. Surprise your special someone with a beautiful diamond tennis bracelet, earrings, ring, or necklace. And to make your purchase even easier, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering up to 60 months interest-free financing. That's 5 years to pay for that special gift, interest-free. And while you're at it, why not break out the tree, string up the lights, and pour yourself some eggnog? Make this a Christmas to remember with our 12 days of deals. Don't wait until December. Find some of the biggest savings of the year at Solomon Brothers Jewelers during our Christmas in July event. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and Fisher Road in Sharpsburg, and online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, now the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Here we go. How you doing, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder? Let her rip Friday.
Said you ain't seen nothing till you down on the moment and you sure to be changing your ways. I met cheerleader, was a real young breed, old times like a river and this. All the best things of loving with a sister and a cousin, only started with a little kiss like this.
2012, Steven Tyler said he's leaving American Idol after 2 seasons with a statement that said, after some long, hard thoughts, I've decided it's time for me to let go of my mistress, American Idol, before she boils my rabbit. I strayed from my first love, Aerosmith, and I'm back. But instead of begging on my hands and knees, I got 2 fists in the air, and I'm kicking the door open with my hand and my band. Okay, Steven Tyler, big tough guy. Kick that door down there, Stevie. Yeah. Yeah, pick a number. And our birthday list includes Richard Simmons, fitness guru of the past. He's had a bunch of problems lately, but I think the last we heard from him, he came out and said, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm not doing great, but I'm alive. Anyway, Richard Simmons, the Richard guru, is 78 years old. And for the record, it's my baby girl's Christine McVie's birthday, 1943. She died 2 years ago. And by the way, it lists her songs, Fleetwood Mac songs, Christine McVie, Landslide, Go Your Own Way, Dreams, The Chain, Rihanna, and Don't Stop. All of those are not my 5 favorite songs. They got them all wrong. The best songs, as you know, are Say You Love Me, Over My Head, Hold Me, Got a Hold on Me, and Everywhere. So it's just... people don't know what the hell, critics, God. And our history list includes... Here it is. Here we go. Oh, remember this? I remember Puttitat saying, yeah, we got to pass this. Things like this are important. The Clintons, everybody else too. On this day in 1996, Congress passed the Defense of Marriage Act, which defined marriage as a union of one man and one woman, no matter what the states might say. Can you imagine? I remember putting that. All these Democrats, all the Clinton putting that, every one of them said, well, no, it's a man and a woman. We can't, go. And the other thing he said, we got to close the border. We can't have all these people sneaking into our country. Remember, all of them were saying, we got to get this border closed. It's outrageous. Man, how things have changed in 20 years.
Yep. Everything the Democrats used to be against or for, they are now either for or against. They have flipped 180 degrees in the last 20 years.
Truly think, but they wanted to close the borders. Marriage is a man and a woman. How many things have changed in 20 years?
They hated CIA. They hated FBI. They hated the federal government. They hated the military-industrial complex. They hated wars. They hated all that stuff. And now they're for wars. They're for the security state. They're for big government. They're for all this stuff they used to hate. Yeah. And in fact, our whole life, we were told that we had to learn to live with the Soviets. They were just like us. We should talk to them. Those Republicans were warmongers. We need to sit down. Reagan was going to kill all of us. The Soviets were going to be our friends. Yeah. And now, who's the biggest ones yelling about the Russians? The Democrats. The Russians are evil. You can't trust them.
Yeah. Yeah, let's make China our partner. The more we do for China, as a Democrat, the more we do for China, by golly, they won't be our enemy. They will be trading, we'll be friends, and all that happen. Yeah. Well, how's that working out?
And they also told us that the Soviet former government was just as viable as ours. They weren't going anywhere, so learn to live with them. And Reagan said, no, they're an evil empire, and I'll destroy them. Yeah. And he did. Yeah. And that was Biden and his ilk wrong about foreign policy once again. The biggest foreign policy of our lifetime was the war against communism, and he was wrong about it.
Yeah. Well, Puttitat said Biden's been wrong on everything. His own defense secretary said the same thing. He's always wrong. Always
Robert
wrong.
Gates. Always wrong.
God. 3:39. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Here's the number. It's Letter Rip Friday. Of course, every day is Letter Rip anyway. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Flounder, just for the fun, in case you missed the so-called news guy. Honestly, I couldn't believe that they were all gentle, and which I guess you should be respectful for a president, but nobody nailed him. I mean, he actually just danced his way around by saying stuff. In fact, I have the list of the things he said. I thought he was going to say, by the way, a lot, because when he loses his train of thought and then he remembers something, he'll say, by the way, to say something he had forgotten before. But here was the order of his cliches. I wrote them down in order last night because I was watching the news conference. In order of his cliches. 1, look, guys. 2, guess what? He does that a lot, too. Talking about, guess what? You know, and you list, okay, so it's, look, guys, guess what? By the way, not a joke, and anyway. And holy cow, Flounder, if you would, cut number 4 from last night. I guess he said that more than I couldn't even believe.
Look, folks, this is anyway. In the next debate, I'm not going to be traveling in the 15 time zones a week before. Anyway, I'm catching hell from my wife for that. Anyway.
What the hell does that mean?
It wasn't about just, anyway, read what his objective is. And anyway, but then again, they're better than a lot of other people here, too. But anyway.
What did those mean?
Because he can't make a coherent, cogent thought one to the next without stopping for a second to see where he's going.
Where was that? What was the thing about his wife yelling at him? What was that all about?
I wonder if that's an earpiece thing. I wonder if she's giving him instructions with a secret earpiece under his coat.
And who was he talking about at the end? Better than anybody here? Was that the reporters he was trashing?
Who knows? Again, and there were still Democrats saying, boy, he really showed he knows all about foreign policy. He really took care of that news conference. Man, he was glowing. It was wonderful. Good Lord. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Well, the money people are pulling out today, supposedly. $90 million they may lose?
$90 million, yeah. The main
he's going to have to cut a deal with these guys. By the way, and the 3 headlines on the Daily Mail over a span of 2 minutes during it yesterday. The first one read, Biden introduces Zelensky as President Putin in major NATO flub. The second headline, Biden commits bizarre flub referencing Vice President Trump. Yeah. And the third in 2 minutes read, President Biden flubs opening statement saying mother home of Russia. 2 minutes.
I remember texting you guys saying, oh, my God. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And last night when Flounder got the soundbite of him saying, and now President Putin, I said, it's over. We have heard the decision. But again, I mean, how are they going to get rid of him? There are enough people say, I mean, now elected Democrats are 19 or 21 now, but they're growing. But still, he's still
You know who's going to do it? Pelosi. She's the mafia. They talked about yesterday. She's the one with the political instincts and the balls to go in there and look him in the eye and say it's over.
Well,
and she's the only one that can do it.
I think she'd have to get Hunter. Honestly, I think Hunter and Puttitat, Obama. If they went to him,
I think she's the one she's the shark in the water. She's the one the enforcer. She grew up in that Baltimore Pelosi mob that went to San Francisco.
That hate racist business, yeah.
That behind the back, smoke in the back room, figuring out who's going to run. She's the one that will have to tell him.
Yeah. Her old man was mayor of Baltimore? I mean, she grew up in politics. And again, she slammed her own father. Her own father, as a mayor in Baltimore, allowed statues of Jefferson and all those people. And then she bitched about it and made take them down. I mean, geez, turning on your own father. That's fine. Yeah. What?
Some of the reaction on Twitter. I am Tommy Borgia tweets, I've never heard of a stumbling fool as a president ever in my 55 years of life. Stinky wrote, the dude is cooked. He's been cooked for years. And Tony Casual tweets, by November, he won't remember his own name.
I still can't. Even Donald Trump, I heard an interview this morning with Donald Trump, and he said about getting rid of him, he said, Trump made a very good point. The guy's got the delegates. If he doesn't want to go, he doesn't have to go. So, and then if he does, literally, how are they going to have Carmella as the head of the ticket?
I was thinking about that last night. They'll put Elizabeth Warren in as her vice president. They're going to run an all-woman ticket, and the only thing they're going to hammer is abortion, abortion, abortion.
Yeah, I guess. Did you say Ruby?
Groovy is on the line.
Groovy, I'm sorry, Flounder. We got Groovy. Welcome aboard. Happy Friday. What do you think?
How you doing, mate? Thank you for your service and protecting our interests. Appreciate that. Before I get to the politics,
yes, sir. Thank you.
I wanted to remind Pete that it is very cherry plum season.
We haven't seen any. Where are they? We haven't seen any. I go to Publix like 4 times a week. I haven't seen anything. Maybe I don't look in the right place.
They're out there. I sent Pete a picture, actually, so Publix in Sugar Hill had them.
Okay, well, we'll look. Yes, sir.
Just related to last night, I noticed in the audience, Ducey was there. Why do you think they didn't call on him?
Exactly. I mean, this whole setup was just ridiculous. And they let him dance. They, finally someone said, reminded him, I think it was the last question, shouted, by the way, you called Trump your vice president, and he just, sloughed it off, it's just like, they didn't touch him. I couldn't believe it. They should have made him cry.
Yeah, they did throw him some softies, and any question that had 2 parts, without fail, he forgot the second part and had to go back if you remember to do it at all.
In fact, I'll tell you, Groovy, I made a note right here, and it said after he wrote the guess what, I wrote down this a guy asked a 2-part question, and the second part of the question was about his cognitive ability and being able to keep track of things. And when he got to the answer, he said, "And I forgot the second part of your question." And it was about his cognitive ability. I thought, oh, my God. Am I the only one who said he forgot the question about whether he forgets things? I'm dying over here. If that had been Trump, if that had been Donald Trump mumbling and bumbling and talking about his wife and things, oh, my God, there would be a whole different reaction today than there is in the media right now. I mean, most of them are freaking ignoring it. They're just going about their business.
You got that right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, God help us. Have a good day.
Semper Fi, my friend, and thank you. Yeah, God help us.
Hey, how about the fact he asked about neurological test, and he started talking about his left foot?
Right.
No, dude, we're talking about your brain. We don't care how it attaches to your left foot.
Yeah. And then he says, well, I've had them all the time, So, I mean, honestly. But they're getting away with it.
Did you see Lindsey Graham came right out and says, I'm going to write a letter to the doctors and ask them, why have you not given him a cognitive test? Because you need one if you're not going to give him one.
Right. Exactly. 347, so much more. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Happy Friday. How you doing? 404-741-1230.
It's one of the biggest elections of our lifetime, and it's never been more important to get the news you need without the bias.
The Democrats have to replace Joe Biden, or they know they cannot win this election.
Trust the conservative voice of Atlanta for the breaking news and latest changes without the spin.
That's what I mean by fixed election. There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
This is Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
When it comes to protecting your assets and ensuring peace of mind, trust the expertise of Nelson Elder Care Law. Our Absolute Protection Trust is designed to provide unparalleled asset protection. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to discover how our specialized services can safeguard your family's future and assets, offering you the assurance you deserve. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Are you self-employed? Did you receive 1099s in 2021? Congress approved up to $32,220 in refundable COVID tax credits for you, not loans. This is your money, up to $32,220 waiting for you to claim it. Check your eligibility in less than 30 seconds at smartsetc.com. Our former IRS auditors will help you claim it. It's fast, easy, and has no upfront cost. Millions qualify, but time is running out. Visit smartsetc.com now and check your eligibility in just 30 seconds. That's smartsetc.com.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, Jesse Kelly, Jimmy Vela, and Guy Benson. The biggest lineup of conservative voices in the South are on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
I mean, this was a monster song by a guy named Earl Nelson from Bob and Earl.
He rocks in the treetop all the day long, popping and a popping and a singing his song.
Yeah, boy.
All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet.
Rockin' Robin. And it was on this day in 2008. Singer Earl Nelson died in Lake Charles, Louisiana. One half of the duo, Bob and Earl. They recorded Harlem Shuffle in 1963. And Earl Nelson sang background vocals on Rockin' Robin, the U.S. hit for the Jackson 5 in 1972. I'd forgotten that. Rockin' Robin. I think someone else might have done a cover on this, too. Our birthday list includes that naughty little Cheryl Ladd. Yeah, schmuck. 73.
The best
Charlie's Angel. Oh, man, she was just as sweet and hot and teeny, and she's a freaking golfer. She's a golfer. Good Lord. You have any idea the amount of money I would... I'm sorry. Cheryl Ladd is 73. Just to play around a golf with her. That's all I'm saying. Oh, God. All right, I'll be fine later. 351. You know, you can't go get the pretty ones. They're really hot ones, though. It's just you can't really. It's like the guy said in the song. You know, you get yourself if you get a hot woman, you're all going to be going after her. It's just you got to be careful on that. All right, our history list includes on this day, 1960, the first Etch-a-Sketch went on sale for $2.99. And it says here, how much you want to bet that the first picture made on the Etch-a-Sketch was a flight of stairs? Yep. Every time. I hated the damn things because every time you moved it, the little buttons would go and they would erase your thing. And I mean, you couldn't hold it steady, and you try to do it with two hands. Now, girls for some reason could do it. I don't know why I had trouble. It was like the hula hoop. Girls could do hula hoops, and guys could never do hula hoops.
It's on the hips.
I think it's a whole swinging thing. Anyway, Etch-a-Sketch, 1960. Wow. God.
Hey, The Onion has the way for Joe Biden to come back.
Oh, I make a return. How's it? What's that?
Only be photographed near much older people. You look vigorous when surrounded by shrunken 103-year-olds who barely look human. Launch all the nukes. You technically cannot lose an election if there's no civilization left to hold one. Win the 200-meter butterfly at the Paris Olympics. Nothing provides a boost in the polls quite like coming home with Olympic gold. Pardon Hunter. It won't actually help, but he needs to get it done before Inauguration Day. Form strategic alliances through intermarriage. It worked for the Habsburgs. And end his campaign. This would provide him with a huge surge in his approval rating. He would have no choice but to immediately restart his campaign.
I love it. 353 to the phones. Here's Kathy with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Happy Let Her Rip Friday, Kathy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're terrific today, sweet girl. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to give my thoughts on Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. Elder abuse, in my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
But my thing is, this is what gets me through. It's God's timing. And so much has been revealed to us since they put him in office.
Yeah.
And I believe this is all happening so we can see everything that has been happening. So that's how I get through it.
Maybe
God's in control, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's time for us to wake up, and this is a sign, and maybe this is good. So we say, oh, my God, this is right here in front of us, and let's be real about it and do the right thing. I like it. Thank you, Kathy. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. 354, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Babylon Bees got a couple of things here. Obama reassures the nation he's still running the country, which is good. Also, media there's pictures here of MSNBC, CNN. It was all this. It says media who refused to report on Biden's decline, furious that nobody reported on Biden's decline. Is that? God. And in fact, a couple of quick. I'm sorry, Flounder. Would you have something?
Real quick, we got Patricia on the line.
Oh, here's Patricia. Hey, baby, how you doing? What's up?
I just have a quick thought. In that letter that Barack Clooney wrote.
Yeah.
Okay. They refer to Biden as the big guy 3 times.
Yeah.
That's the warning to the family that if they don't let him know and get him out of there, everything they have on the big guy and Hunter and the brothers is going to come out. I think that's the subtle warning that they gave to Biden.
Well, and the thought along with that, I've heard also and thought about too, as Patricia, is that also they're in the midst of making a deal where, as long as the family's taken care of and they get to keep their offshore millions of accounts or whatever, that they'll let them retire in happiness and they won't say anything and everybody will make a deal and everybody will be happy. I mean, this whole thing stinks to high heavens. Yeah.
It sure does, Timmer. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, baby. Take care of yourself. Thanks, Patricia. 3:55. In fact, here's some of the official comments about the Republicans are saying the press conference with Biden was a disaster. Inexplicable how these people advising this man continue to think that somehow he's not going to humiliate himself in this country. Why do they continue allowing it to happen? But allies of the president consider the press event a success, remarking on social media that Biden's delivery while answering reporters' questions was strong. This is a very strong performance. Quite frankly, POTUS is putting on a master class in how foreign policy and domestic policy intersect, explaining how crucial American global leadership is to the people here at home. Well done, Mr. President. Again, another one. Tonight, Joe Biden offered a lengthy, detailed dive on the major national security issues he's juggling, combined with a comfortable but forceful defense of his view on where his race stands. 50 minutes of questions. He needed to show up big tonight, and he did, said Kate Bedingfield, the former White House communications director. Mike came up big, and he did. What's the matter with these people? They just keep the big lie going. Now, somebody's going to read that and say, in Iowa, say, well, God, I missed a I guess he really did another. He showed he still got it. Man, still got it.
Well, he's already lost Iowa. He's so far behind there. He's not going to. What kills me is the European guy, I think he was Polish, come up talking about how much Europeans admire and love him. Let me ask the Europeans this, if any are listening. Yeah. Would you rather have a president that you love and admire, but Putin invades Ukraine anyway and next Poland? Or would you rather have a president you hate and despise and mock, as in Trump, but Putin somehow forgets in 4 years to invade anybody?
Yeah, and by the way, I saw this too, making the rounds last night. The Italian Prime Minister chick, Meloni or whatever her name was, she's the one who went to get him and turn him around when he was watching the wrong direction when they had the photo. Remember this little cutie goes over. Well, last night when they showed the video of her when he was introduced at the NATO meeting, she absolutely, literally scrunched up her nose and went, oh, God, is he here again? Look at the video. Google the video. The Italian Prime Minister, when they introduced Biden at the NATO meeting where he called the President Putin instead of Zelensky, and you could see her face going, oh, geez, we got to go through this guy again.
She wasn't happy that she was having to wait for him, too. I mean, they were like an hour late for his own damn press conference.
Unbelievable. Oh, Founders Funnies right here for Ducky's Hoagies. There you go.
Pete sent us this one yesterday. This one's pretty funny.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
I love Independence Day because your country broke away from England and got freedom. Australia never did that, right? We're Britain's little as we are. You guys, you tipped the tea in the ocean. I think that's what it was. You tipped tea in the ocean and you were like...
Big deal.
So England didn't like that. They put their red coats on, which is still the most arrogant military uniform in the history of combat. The least camouflage outfit there was. When Paul Revere was like, the English are coming, everyone was like, no Paul, we can see you. From a mile away.
They're right there.
Anyway, long story short, no one thought you'd win. You had 16 guns, 4 pitchforks, and Mel Gibson, and you won. And that's why I love this country. Yeah, you stick it to England. We still drink hot tea in Australia. You don't get hot tea anywhere in America. You're done with tea forever. The only time you drink tea is to annoy England. You're like, tea? How do we drink it? Cold, with a pound of sugar in a can that says Arizona. How you like that?
A can that says Arizona. Coming up on 4 o'clock with a Giver Peanut Flounder. It's Friday. Look out.
WFOM and Mickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
The campaign is focusing on the positive. Lisa Brady, Fox News, a spokesperson for the Biden campaign, just telling reporters donations exploded during the president's news conference last night, though he also says President Biden understands there's still anxiety on Capitol Hill. He had a conference call with members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus.
We learned earlier today that there are now 19 Democrats calling for President Biden to bow out of the race here. Mike Levin, a Democrat from California, the San Diego area, he was one of the most recent ones. But apparently what happened is on the conference call, he actually said this to the president. We got a written statement from Mike Levin at one point today, but he actually called on the president to step out on that call. That's significant. We haven't had an avalanche of people yet today. We've had two. Brittany Pedersen, who's a Democrat from Colorado, she became the 18th earlier this morning.
Fox's Chad Pergram at the Capitol. The president campaigns in Michigan a few hours from now. Former President Trump rallies tomorrow in Pennsylvania ahead of Monday's start of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
The biggest news we're going to be waiting on is who is former President Trump going to select as his VP. Trump has confirmed some of the names that have been floated out there are people under consideration. That would include Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. We're just a matter of days away from finding out who it's going to be, because Wednesday night here in Milwaukee, whoever that candidate is, they're going to be speaking.
Fox's Bill Malugin. The jury finally has the case against U.S. Senator Bob Menendez after more than 9 weeks in federal court. The New Jersey Democrat accused of taking bribes and acting as a foreign agent for the Egyptian government on trial with two businessmen. All of their defense attorneys saying there's no evidence cash and gold bars found in the senator's home were bribes. Stocks rally, the Dow up 247 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Madame Giselle senses a change in your future.
Is it a promotion?
I see a door opening.
Ooh, to a corner office?
There's a creature. Beady eyes, lots of hair.
Is it my boss, Dave?
No, raccoons everywhere. Your RV door is open, and they're chewing everything.
Not a problem. I'm covered by Progressive. Do you see a bigger paycheck?
Customize your coverage with Progressive's pest damage protection and be prepared for the unexpected. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pest damage protection available for RVs less than 6 years old. $250 deductible applies to any claim.
If you had $1 million in 2009, today it would be worth less than $700,000. Thank you, big government. Hedge against runaway inflation with gold from Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. I trust Birch Gold, and you can too.
Text the word PROTECT to the number 989898 and get a free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Hey, ho. The hell? This can't be the next one on my music list.
Oh, I did an audible, and I didn't even tell you. No, we're going to Benny Carter.
All right, now I got to
2003. It's on the first page of the music.
Okay, well, now let's. Oh, Benny Carter, I got you. Okay.
Whoops, I forgot about that.
Benny Carter, on this day in 2003, the saxophonist, composer, and arranger. Benny Carter died at the age of 95 in 2003. He worked with Miles Davis, Ella Fitzgerald, Ray Charles, and composed many TV themes, including Ironside and M Squad. I remember M Squad. And Ironside with Chief Ironside with a Perry Mason there. What's his name? The
Raymond Burr.
Big fat gay guy. Yeah, Raymond Burr. Paul Drake.
Paul?
The big blonde guy with the black eyebrows, and Della Street, his secretary. Oh, man, what a show. But all of them together. Anyway, our birthday list includes Allison Wright. You don't know the name and may not know. If you saw the picture, you might. 48 years old. If you watch the series The Americans, Allison Wright was the woman who was not particularly made to be particularly attractive, and she was seduced and married by the guy star of the show, and he got her to give away some Pentagon secrets, and then she got caught, and they had to sneak her into Russia, where she lived a very horrible life after she had to leave America. And I remember that, her family was going to think she was a traitor, and she kind of got duped.
Well, she was.
She was a traitor, but it was stupid. I mean, this guy seduced her because she was not what you would call attractive, and this guy just seduced her and got her to do stuff. And anyway, it's a horrible thing. Anyway, Allison Wright is 48 years old. And again, I don't know why they didn't have a follow-up to that series. I'd love to see what happened to them, Russia, and the kids, including the college kid, whether he would ever get involved in anything. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. But no, see, if we had any money, honest to God, if we had like, a couple of $100 million, or we knew something, we'd say, hey, let's do this. It would be a tremendous hit. How could that follow-up series of The Americans not be a hit?
Well, his career's been doing okay. The Perry Mason thing ended pretty quick.
I didn't like that.
Cost too much money. She's doing Cocaine Bear. Her career's been up and down since then, so she'd
I didn't see that. And the Perry Mason thing, I tried to watch it, and I thought it was too dark and just dark and dreary, and I couldn't follow it, and that's not what I wanted. Anyway, I didn't like it. But anyway, okay, I'll stop talking. On this day in history, and again, if you go to my Facebook page or YouTube, I posted video. I took some pictures today, and that had to do with this particular day in history in 1974, the Nixon years, Watergate. Domestic advisor John Ehrlichman, G. Gordon Liddy, and Bernard Barker and Eugenio Martinez guilty of violating the civil rights and perjury in the Daniel Ellsberg psychiatrist case. His psychiatric files, Ehrlichman served 18 months in prison. Liddy later served 4 years for masterminding the Watergate burglary break-in in the first place. And again, the pictures I took today, put on Facebook, were of me with him, G. Gordon Liddy. I interviewed him back in the 80s, and he wanted to take a ride on my Harley. I'd ridden my Harley.
You've already told the story once, so you only get to once.
I had to. For people don't listen every minute. Somebody just
tuned in. It's called a replay.
It's
called. You're not going to tell that story every hour of this show.
No, I did. This was on my history list, 1974, and I had to
then
say
why didn't you wait to tell the story when you did your history list?
Because in the beginning, I'm telling things they can go look for about the show, including what you're doing, what Flounder's doing, and what I'm at to put on Facebook.
Wow. There's no greater tease in the history of talk radio than later on I'm going to talk about G. Gordon Liddy.
I think that is a wonderful tease of someone to say G. Gordon Liddy was on your Harley. Wow, let's take a look at that.
Wow. Stay tuned. H.R. Haldeman hour, the entire hour dedicated to H.R. Haldeman.
I'm beginning to really enjoy this trend here where the morning show picks on me, calls me old Mr. Wrinkly now, and Pete Davis tells me what I'm doing wrong on my show. So those are two things that, they help a lot for going into the weekend, so I can, think about it a lot before next Monday's show, wondering what I'm supposed to do next. But this is good. It helps me, kind of settle myself and, kind of bring things around. And do.
Old Mr. Wrinkly because of the skin or the shirt?
I have no idea. I don't know, and I don't want to ask. All I know.
Do you own an iron?
I do. I own an iron. I iron my shirt. I used to always iron all my clothes. I never asked a wife to iron my stuff ever.
Almost
never,
being used to being the key phrase.
I don't. Well, nowadays I really don't give a crap. Honestly, I just don't. I don't give a crap. I mean, they come out of the dryer pretty good, and by the time I sit in my, in fact, that's the truth. If you notice with modern day trousers, I mean, not jeans, but Dockers, just slacks like that. Modern day slacks. If you put them in the dryer and you take them out too early, they're going to be wrinkled as hell. You got to leave them in the whole time, and they're fine. It's unbelievable. So I don't, and frankly, I don't give a crap. I look like a rag picker now, and I don't care because it's not like chicks are coming all over me. You know what I mean?
What's a rag picker?
It's a rag picker. It's a guy who looks like he picks rags for a living and then wears them home. I don't know.
Do they grow on trees?
Again, we talked about this before. My mother used to say, "You can't look like a rag picker. You're a Peterson," and so that's what we used to say.
Rag picker.
Well, it's a thing. There are rag pickers. You can make money picking up rags and selling.
Not even Mexicans will do that these days.
Maybe not anymore. Not in America. Why would they? Were taking care of everybody. Donald Trump reacted to the Biden news conference, stumbling and bumbling and calling him Vice President Trump and so forth. Crooked Joe begins his big boy press conference with, "I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be Vice President." Way to go, Joe. Good job. And by the way, even the Biden, the Democrats, they know how to do this. They fired back and they said, "Oh, by the way," which again was my favorite phrase of his. "By the way, yes, I know the difference between whether he's qualified to be president or not. I know the difference. One's a prosecutor and the other's a felon." Crooked Joe has a case of Trump derangement syndrome. That is for sure. Mother home of Russia and all those mistakes were just unbelievable. Joe Biden is not answering the questions. His press conference was a disaster. Leo Terrell, the black commentator from Fox, and Tammy Bruce, my God, how long are they going to let this to continue to happen with this man? Not me. And again, the Democrats thought he did great. And did I just hear on the news the lead story on Fox, which apparently is turned against conservatives, the lead story on Fox now was that they've had a record amount of money that just came in to Biden's campaign? I swear to God, the record amount of money coming into Biden's campaign. I thought the record amount would come into Trump's campaign. But I may have misheard.
Who's giving Biden money right now? They're taking money from him.
They kept the $90 million on the side last night. That came out after that news conference. They said we're holding this money. So I don't know. Anyway, Flounder, was that something I needed? Oh, somebody coming in the room. What was that? Something I need to know? Flounder sent me a message. Well, I'll just look at it right now.
He says, okay, here's what Shannon Burke had to say during the news conference yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's see. He said, Jesus, Palomino, this is BS. It's not real. It's all canned. Pre-selected reporters. Someone is typing out his responses into the teleprompter.
Yeah. And I wonder if there was an earpiece, because he said, what's that? And I don't know if he was talking to somebody in the crowd just out of the blue. And by the way, this just in. Where'd we get this? I don't know, but I like it. Black insurrectionist. I just hung up with my friend who works in D.C., the guy who has nailed everything and given me inside scoops for months that have led to viral tweets, correct predictions, and he has not been wrong yet. Not sure if I should post this, but here we go. Quote, Jill Biden is running the country right now. Joe Biden is sleeping up to 16 hours a day. The Biden and Obama family rift has now blown fully open, and any aides loyal to Obama are going to get canned. Obama's going to try and force Joe out. Obama's meeting privately with power players to get them to withdraw funding, as we saw last night. Hollywood will begin to turn on Biden via Obama is telling them Democrats are making decertification plans in case of a Trump win. Deals are being attempted with some Republicans right now to turn on Trump. All right, I'm going to interrupt here. Hold on a minute. They're saying that that they're already making deals for decertification.
To say he's not a legitimate president. They're already doing the Russian thing, too. By the way, they're saying the Russians are interfering again.
That's right. I'll continue with this guy, the black insurrectionist. Quote, a full-blown civil war in the DNC, Democrats, and an attempt to make sure Trump does not get elected at any cost is now happening. Many in D.C. are already saying that the Biden family has completely obliterated the Constitution with how they are running the country. Obama has the CIA and the NSA in his corner. Bad news for Biden. The Biden family has cut Joe Biden off to anyone other than a few close people. The Hur tapes, which we were trying to get public, the Hur tapes are completely different than the transcription. See, we know that's true. The Hur tapes are completely different from the transcription. The desperation to keep them is because apparently Joe Biden had full-blown dementia during most of that interview, and some are saying the transcripts are in fact doctored. I was even warned that I probably should not post this, but the hell with it. I hate the DNC. I hate Democrats. The quicker we get rid of the Democrat Party, the better off we all will be. But that includes getting rid of the GOP. Both parties suck, he continues. Anyway, last night press conference did nothing. There is a full court press to get rid of Joe Biden, and it is intensifying. Watch for leaks to the press about Joe Biden and things that are happening behind the scenes. If the Hur tapes come out, it will be the end of Biden for sure, and will lead to prosecutions because of the doctoring of the transcriptions. Internal polling has been disastrous. Many saying Biden has no path to win. If he were to win, the country would go up in flames. Crazy times we live in. Unquote. Black insurrectionist. I follow back true patriots.
Read the line. Read the line again.
I follow back true patriots. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means.
No, I was joking because you know how Biden would always say, read the line again.
Pause. See your friends.
Anyway.
Anyway. Holy cow.
That's the only reason they're hiding the transcript or hiding the actual tape.
You know that's true. You know that's true. He was making noises like his car.
And it's decertification. You know what that means? They're going to call him illegitimate, and it's going to be a coup in front of us. It was behind the scenes last. It'll be a coup right in front of our eyes this time. And if we put up with it, we deserve what we get.
Well, if they try to decertify the election if Trump wins, we are going to go to the Capitol, and we're not going to be up there with paper straws and pictures saying, "Oh, gee golly, you guys have been wrong. We beg to differ." We're all going to go up there and say, "We beg to differ. We beg to differ." That's what we'll do. That's our insurrection.
We're going to go up there.
We're going to yell and scream, and we're going to say,
"Pal.
We beg to differ, pal." 4:15, can repeat and flounder. Oh, dear God. I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
I'm an attorney, as you know. Practiced 17 years, but it was really dull. I only did criminal defense work one time. I represented an obviously guilty client and got a not guilty verdict from the jury. Never represented a guilty client in front of a jury again. Really, because I was just too good at it. Very humble brag there. But why bring this up? Well, I just spent last evening watching Cops on It's one of my favorite programs. Bad boys, bad boys. I especially like the tased and confused versions where somebody ends up getting a taser in the butt. But I'm irritated by this little disclaimer they put there. These people are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. What a bunch of hogwash. Once you have committed a crime, you are guilty of committing that crime. You murder somebody, you're a murderer, whether or not you've been adjudicated guilty in a court of law. This innocent until proven guilty thing only counts for the government, because only the government can punish you for a crime by depriving you of your life, your liberty, or your property. So the government has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty. As for the rest of us great unwashed, we know what you did, and we know that you're guilty as sin. But we can't do anything about it. That's up to the government. That's why the government has that hurdle to clear. So let's stop with that innocent until proven guilty nonsense and change that disclaimer on cops to these suspects are guilty as hell, but they can't be punished for their crime until a jury gives the thumbs up or thumbs down, as the case may be. And no, I don't care what you did. I am not going to represent you. At this point, you don't have enough money. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
When storms wreak havoc on your home, who do you trust to make things right? Look no further than Southern Exteriors. Hey, it's Tug. With over 25 years experience, they understand the urgency of storm damage. They offer emergency response and free estimates to assess the situation and get your home back on track. Southern Exteriors is committed to your home's long-term well-being. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, windows, or doors, they have the expertise to handle it all. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. southernexteriors.co. Southern Exteriors, restoring peace of mind one storm at a time.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time, but unfortunately we can't offer you the position.
But why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and we saw some red flags.
Like what?
Apparently you were accused of dog-napping a Chihuahua named Mr. Cha-Cha?
Mr. Cha-Cha was my soulmate.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
I'm assuming we're back on the list.
Yes, this is Smashing Pumpkins or Jimmy Chamberlain.
Oh, okie dokie. 1996, Jimmy Chamberlain, Smashing Pumpkins drummer, was charged with drug possession after the death of the band's keyboard player, Jonathan Melvoin, in his New York hotel room. Yowie, yowie, 1996. That was Smashing Pumpkins. There was also something in the news about, in the history about Smashing Pumpkins as well. Yeah, I guess that's what it was. Jimmy Chamberlain was charged. They later rehired him for the band, by the way.
Yeah, he's in the band today. He's the original drummer.
Wow, cool. And let's see, our birthday list includes, we talked the other day about the series 30-something. I forgot which one we were talking about that. Well, there's another actor from the series 30-something on TV. Mel Harris is 68. Mel Harris is a girl. Mm-hmm. And a very handsome woman, tall and thin, and kind of looks just a very good-looking, handsome woman. She always seemed to be sort of classy and gentle and
a classy broad.
Yeah, she seemed like a classy dame, man. Mel Harris, 68 years old today. There you go. And on our history list of all things here, hold on a second. We got a thing with a thing there. We ought to. Well, now what was I going to do? Oh, here we go. 1992, 92, Axl Rose was arrested at JFK Airport. He was wanted on charges stemming from a riot that erupted in 1991 at the Guns N' Roses concert after he dove into the crowd to keep a fan from videotaping the show. And they arrested him at JFK the next year for stage diving, another thing there. 423, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, our 4 o'clock hour, sponsored by our good friends at the home of the Kimmer Safe, Atlanta Safe House. You need a safe, silly, for your Social Security card and your medical records. Also, things you want to save. What are you talking about? They are almost always on sale. Everything in gun safes, pistol safes, jewelry safes, all kinds of safes. Showroom in Ackworth, on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. 404-741-1230. Bizarre story just breaking now. We're going to change things here for a little bit. An Ohio mom trying to save her son from a carjacker. Alexa Stakely, 29 years old, was picking up her son from his babysitter's condo. This is in Ohio. She put her son in a car seat, went back inside to grab some of his stuff at 1:30 in the morning. When she came out again, she saw a stranger in the driver's seat of her Honda. She tried to stop him by jumping on the hood. He hit the gas, throwing her onto the pavement, and killed her. 2 male suspects in connection with the case. They dumped the car up the road, ran away, hopped over a fence, part of a larger group of people seen on surveillance peeping through windows that night. Police found the child in the abandoned vehicle. He was not physically hurt. His mother had earned a master's from Ohio State, worked as a speech-language therapist at the local elementary school. A single mom, worked a second job as a waitress to provide for her son, and was picking him up after her shift at 1 o'clock in the morning when carjackers killed her. I'm ready to cry about this. I mean, my God.
This happens all the time, all across America. Why is this
unbelievable?
One special?
Well, it's not right. And how about this? We're talking about weird, goofy things. A fitness fanatic in Indonesia shows a row of treadmills being used, and a woman is on one of the treadmills. She's identified as a 22-year-old woman, didn't give her name. She grabbed onto a window frame, and then all of a sudden from the treadmill disappears out of sight, falling through the window. She was exercising when she slowed to a walk, and apparently it says that the machine was way too close to the window, and the low height of the wall under the window meant it was also easy for her to fall through. So the treadmill chucked her offside, and she's dead. Good grief. Coming up, some animal stories about elephants on the attack. Good Lord. Anyway, just trying to change the pace. All right, now go back to politics. Founder, let's do some more reaction to the debate to the debate and not the debate, but to the But
anyway.
Well, anyway, here's the thing. No joke. To the meeting of the foreign leaders, and then followed by the news conference last night, Jon Stewart, who is often quick with a witty comment about things that happen in the news politically. Cut number 7, Flounder. Jon Stewart talked about Biden's performance last night.
I think that you are soft selling the more fundamental aspect of people viewing somebody who, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't know of a job interview that you could have gone on and delivered the performance that was delivered by Joe Biden and gotten a job. And I'm not talking about the presidency. I'm talking about like cashier at Home Depot, like a job that you would not think, okay, that is the hardest job in the entire world.
And yet the Democrats are saying, boy, he did great. Really did great. And there's more information coming on. By the way, I'm going to read that letter again, or that posting from a guy identified as Black Insurrectionist, and then it says DocNet YouTube, at DocNet YouTube is where this came from, talking about the inside story of the Putty Tats and the Obamas trying to go behind the scenes and so forth. What's the matter? No. And by the way, for the record, there's more information coming out about the grudge between Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, and Carmela Sidepiece. When Carmela took the stage during the Democratic primary debate in 2020, she implied that Joe Biden was a racist when she talked about, you wanted to end the school busing. Well, I was that little girl, kind of member. She basically called Joe Biden a racist. And the response by Jill was crystal clear. She said, go blank yourself. And she admitted during a conference call with supporters that that's what she said. When Carmela called her husband a racist, she said, go blank yourself. And the relationship has gone downhill from there. Jill holds grudges, one insider reveals. She doesn't let things go, and she has never forgiven Carmela for comments that some look to be allegations of racism. That's the reason she never wanted Carmela to be her husband's number 2. Jill was trying to stop Carmela joining the ticket in 2020. She's hated her ever since for the school bus thing. She bit her tongue, though, because Biden boxed himself into the corner saying he's going to pick a black woman. Again, these idiots. And now, according to one source, it's not about Carmela. It's not really about Joe. It's more about her holding on to her status as first lady. She doesn't want to give it up. Remember the article that just came out recently in Vogue magazine? How much she loves being catered to and loves going through stoplights and just silly things like that. Another said the way that Jill is absolutely unwavering about Joe staying in the race. If he's forced out or opts out, she would be fully exposed and opposed to Carmela replacing him. Carmella never runs competent organization, she says. Every office, every campaign dissolves and devolves into toxicity, and Jill is keenly protective of Joe's legacy. And by the way, everybody hates Carmella. Her staff keeps quitting. The turnover's unbelievable. Everybody hates her guts.
Okay, here's the person they're probably going to put up as the next president. Here's what Kamala Harris said yesterday in North Carolina during a speech. This is a direct quote. You ready?
Yeah.
They taught us that we could do anything and should never be burdened by the limitations of other people to be able or not be able to see what can be, understands and can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
Oh, my God. You know why she said that? She's trying to do a takeoff on her new phrase. She has a phrase, and I wish I'd written, if I'd known that, I would try to Google. You could Google. Carmella's favorite phrase is something like, don't let the past hinder your chances for the future. Or something like that, where she says, just because there was racism before, we can do better. I mean, there's some kind of phrase like that. And she uses it over and over and over. That was a longer example of that phrase. So she's stuck on this whole thing about don't let the past hold you back or something. That didn't make any sense. I don't know what she's trying to say.
I didn't understand a word of what she said there. How did you get anything out of that?
Only because it reminds me of her slogan that she uses over and over and over. God, I'm going to have to Google it here at some point. And again, they just did it on one of our other talk shows. They played it over and over and over. So one of her cliches, famous for it.
If she's using that cliche, she's going 180 degrees different from the Democratic line, is that you're a victim. You're a victim,
Right.
and it's Whitey who did it to you. You're a victim, and you're unlucky.
Yeah, I think the phrase, the indication, as I recall the phrase to me, I feel like an idiot. I'm so sorry I'm not doing my job because I should have known what this is. I can't remember it, but the phrase, my inkling, as I recall it, is something like she is saying, despite the fact that we have been held back all the time, we still need to, be better and stick it to the man or something. It's just, it's a cliche. I don't know where it came from, whether it's a civil rights movement or something. But she was famous. One of our talk show guys was playing a montage of it over and over and over. And again, I think she's just doing. But again, she can't speak a sentence. It's like, honestly, it's like she's told in the speech class to get up and do a 4-minute ad lib speech on something, and she doesn't know what to say. I mean, she's an idiot. And she's a freaking disgrace and a loser and a liar. The czar, the border czar, she never went to the border. Anyway, 4:32, I'm late enough break. Sorry, Fly. Here we go. Give her Pete Flounder, let her rip Friday. Flounder's Funny. We'll do a Flounder's Funny next, coming up right there. Here we go.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
2 more Georgia football players were arrested and charged with reckless driving. Jonathan Bo Hughley was booked in Athens Clark County Jail on charges of failure to maintain lane and reckless driving and was involved in a single car crash. The following night, Smile Munden was charged with reckless driving and racing on the street. The school has not released any comment. A Carroll County deputy was surprised after he was called out by Michelle Turner to talk to her grandson about the dangers of riding his bike on a busy highway. The deputy found 3 minors at the location and was told by the kids that they were home alone. The grandmother, Michelle Turner, said she was tired of taking care of all the kids that belonged to Jessica and Steve Bailey. The deputy reported the stench of animal urine and feces, no food in the house, and no cooling system. Jessica and Steve were arrested for cruelty to children and transported to the Carroll County Jail.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Masterplan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPsETC.com.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
When storms wreak havoc on your home, who do you trust to make things right? Look no further than Southern Exteriors. Hey, it's Tug. With over 25 years experience, they understand the urgency of storm damage. They offer emergency response and free estimates to assess the situation and get your home back on track. Southern Exteriors is committed to your home's long-term well-being. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, windows, or doors, they have the expertise to handle it all. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. southernexteriors.co. Southern Exteriors, restoring peace of mind one storm at a time.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled, and without any hesitation, answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Well, the East Coast girls are hit by really dig those styles they wear. And the Southern girls
switch to the next hour. It's definitely not Take That with our...
Yeah, I listened to that song and it was awful, so I canceled it.
Put another... No, I got it right here in front of me. Here it is right now. On this day in 1965, I love the Beach Boys. And they released California Girls. Dun, 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 dun. And here's the story. Brian Wilson said he conceived that song during his first acid trip. It was written by Brian Wilson and Mike Love. The song reached number 3 on the Hot 100. I can't believe it was only number 3. This was a huge hit. Well, like the top 10 in other countries and one of the band's most successful songs ever around the world. The track inspired the Beatles' parody back in the USSR. And many songs with similar or identical titles, including Big Star's September Girls and the Magnetic Fields' California Girls, Katy Perry's California Girls with a U. In 1984, David Lee Roth recorded a cover version that peaked at number 3. But still the Beach Boys are the ones here. So anyway, let's see. Our birthday list includes Michelle Rodriguez is 46. I don't really know her. I saw her picture. You probably know her pretty well because it's Fast and Furious movie. She is Letty in the Fast and Furious movies. Rain Ocampo, I think it is, in the Resident Evil movies. Never saw those. Trudy in Avatar, and Anna Lucia on Lost. Michelle Rodriguez, 46. Okie dokie.
Dungeons and Dragons movie, too, with Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, we just talked about his father the other day. If I'm not mistaken. And on this day in history, 1967, police in Newark, New Jersey, arrested a black guy, a cab driver, and then proceeded to beat the crap out of him, and the crowd thought they'd killed him, so they went nuts. Boom, race riot, 1967, Newark, New Jersey. It left 24 people dead, 1,100 wounded, 1,300 arrested, and it was the first time that Tony Soprano, as a little boy, saw his father being arrested at the arcade and taking his sister Janice to try to cover it up so they could have their meetings, and his mother told him, watch out, because there's race riots going on right down the street. And boy, did he learn a freaking lesson that. Well, maybe not a learn lesson on reality there. 404-741-12. What's the matter?
We got Every Friday Susan on the horn.
Every Friday Susan on the radio. Hey, man, we got Peach Tweets coming up too. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Welcome aboard. What's up?
Hello, gentlemen. So it is kind of a coincidence. I grew up right off the Jersey Turnpike, and Newark is 13A, and I grew up on exit 12. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's a crazy coincidence. I wanted to talk about Dr. Jill.
Yeah.
She is like the epitome of evil because, there's no way she can get around saying she didn't know, obviously about Joe's condition.
Yeah.
But to me, that whole Vanity Fair cover, did you see that? Where she's in that $5,000,
Yeah.
I think they call it like a tuxedo dress or whatever.
Yeah.
So how long ago did they take those photos? And, she knew in advance that the debate was coming up and he was going to be on live TV, front and center. She did that photo shoot months and months before, knowing how bad her husband was, just because she wanted to get on the cover of a magazine. Think about how despicable and disgusting that is.
Well,
there's no way that she can sit there and say, "Oh, because I saw him on live TV, now I realize he's got dementia." It's just. And I've been saying one more thing. I've been saying from day one, there's no way he's stepping down because there's no way she's giving up power.
Yeah. And she's responsible for all of this. And she should have stopped this from the beginning. She's the enabler. She's the witch behind this entire problem. And if she had had any sense of decency for America, she would have made this one of the greatest events in her and her husband's life to have become president and then retire in grace and go. And again, she's ruined everything. It's her fault. Completely her fault for this entire situation. And she knew it all from the beginning. You're absolutely right.
She knew it all from the beginning. Tucker made a comment the other day. He was interviewing Catherine Herridge. She used to be with Fox, and then I think she went to CBS.
Went to CBS and got fired for telling the truth.
For covering the Hunter Biden laptop thing.
Yeah.
And he made a comment, and I used to watch him avidly, but I don't remember. He said back in 2019 when when Joe Biden was campaigning from his basement that I guess Tucker had talked off the record with one of Biden's relatives, and she had said that they had seen signs of cognitive decline, and they were worried about him running for such high office back in 2019.
Yeah. Everybody knew this.
Everybody else, we saw it in, all over. If you actually looked, you could see that, he was going downhill.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
But anyway.
Thank you every Friday, Susan. Always a pleasure. Have a great weekend. Thanks so much. 443. And by the way, I found that story. Hold on a second here. Oh, freaking Fox people. Here we go. Oh, hold on, everything. It's 443. We got a lot of reaction to all this going on here. We've got tweets, and we got Pete, and we got music. So what the hell? We got Letter of Friday with Pete's tweets.
Monica Crowley, remember her?
Oh, I do remember Monica Crowley. She's on Fox all the time. Absolute business girl, I think. And
Fox, former assistant secretary of the Treasury. Yeah.
Yep.
She just tweeted something very interesting here. Mm-hmm. Her audio tapes have been held back for precisely this moment. Since Biden won't go on his own, they will be leaked, and they'll be so bad he will go out in a ball of flames. This will be the coup de grace, ruthless and efficient.
There's got to be, if it isn't that, it's going to be something more from Hunter's laptop, or it's going to be, a leak of some of the suspicious banking transactions for for money laundering from overseas. Something's going to happen because there's no, I can't believe they're going to.
Well, they got to be careful about the money laundering.
Because that's
they'll
his
all
son.
be caught in that snare.
And his family, hell, his granddaughter. The granddaughter got money from Romania.
No, I mean all the Democrats will be caught, and the
that's
Republicans too.
Yeah.
This Ukraine thing is the largest money laundering scheme in the history of mankind. They will all go down with it.
But I'm not sure all the rest of them have records. Apparently, there are obvious records and in personal testimony, like Bob Alinsky, who can confirm. I mean, we've seen the writing. The big guy gets 10%. I don't know how many of those other people have this stuff in, from a laptop. That's the thing. Hunter's laptop guy has all the proof. Or the waits to get to it. Unbelievable.
There's also a tweet that's out there. It's basically Wheel of Fortune, and the clue is ZLNSY, Ukraine president, and Putin. Biden goes, "Oh no, I know what it is. It's Putin. It's Putin." Let's see. Yes. Rhyming Mama wrote on Facebook, I just told my 4-year-old daughter that when I was a kid, our TV only had 4 channels, and the daughter rolled her eyes and said, "Okay, Mom, whatever." So now I'm starting to wonder if maybe my dad did walk to school uphill both ways.
I remember holding on to the antenna.
Oh, yeah. What musical instrument can you absolutely not trust?
Wow. The organ? I don't know. Good question.
A liar.
L-Y-R-E, I'm guessing, of some sort.
Yeah. Have you ever met a 9-year-old?
Isn't that like a harp?
Yeah, it's like a little,
little
harp thing. Yeah. Ever met a 9-year-old genius?
I don't know.
A young man recently found out brought a tube of chapstick to school, except the teacher saw him eating it. Turns out the youngster had replaced the wax with cheese and would slowly turn the tube to get a snack during class.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty good.
You got to believe it.
And every time I see a meth head on a bicycle, I yell, "Hey, that's my bike." I do it just to see how fast they can pedal.
I love it. All right, here a couple of updates on the campaign and reactions and stuff. I mentioned, I thought I heard this on the news. The Biden campaign received a bump in donations after the news conference last night and after the NATO summit. Since last night, we're seeing strong support across our coalition. Most importantly, we're seeing our grassroots base. The communications director says we have close to 40,000 donations last night alone. Exploded during the president's press conference. In fact, we had 7 times our average during the press conference.
Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But again, I mean, they're saying he did a great job. 447. They keep repeating Flounder. I call drinking.
The left-wing media is pushing counterfeit polls and bogus headlines, all while ignoring the stories that matter most. Trust the conservative voice of Atlanta for the real truth without the media spin. The Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton, The Kimmer Show, Jesse Kelly, and the voices you need most are all on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months right here on Extra 106.3.
Who says you have to wait until December to celebrate Christmas? Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon. Right now at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating Christmas in July in all of our locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. Stop in today and enjoy our 12 days of deals on everything in our stores. Surprise your special someone with a beautiful diamond tennis bracelet, earrings, ring, or necklace. And to make your purchase even easier, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering up to 60 months interest-free financing. That's 5 years to pay for that special gift, interest-free. And while you're at it, why not break out the tree, string up the lights, and pour yourself some eggnog? Make this a Christmas to remember with our 12 days of deals. Don't wait until December. Find some of the biggest savings of the year at Solomon Brothers Jewelers during our Christmas in July event. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and Fisher Road in Sharpsburg, and online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, now the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
New this year, Atlanta Braves Kids Club members now have the option to purchase an exclusive Kids Club kit of Braves merchandise to rep the Braves wherever they are. The kit includes a Matt Olson t-shirt, headband, sunglasses, drawstring bag, lanyard, and member badge. The kit is the perfect gift for your kids, nieces, nephews, or any little Braves fan in your life. Visit Braves.com/Kids Club today and purchase the new Kids Club kit. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Are you self-employed? Did you receive 1099s in 2021? Congress approved up to $32,220 in refundable COVID tax credits for you, not loans. This is your money, up to $32,220, waiting for you to claim it. Check your eligibility in less than 30 seconds at smartsetc.com. Our former IRS auditors will help you claim it. It's fast, easy, and has no upfront cost. Millions qualify, but time is running out. Visit smartsetc.com now and check your eligibility in just 30 seconds. That's smartsetc.com.
And now some good old country music. Get up, go, little darling.
I bought a brand new Airmobile. Custom made was light deal with
there we go.
Apple motor and some hideaway wing. Pushing on the button and you can hear her say, now you can't catch me.
The Rolling Stones. 1962, Stones made their debut at the Marquee Jazz Club in London with Dick Taylor on bass, later of the Pretty Things, and Mick Avery on drums, later of the Kinks. Billed as the Rollin' Stones, they were paid £20, which is like $25 for the gig, and it was equivalent. That was in 1962. In 2010, it would have been about $400. So they went from like $30 to $400 in terms of just the economy from 1962, Rolling Stone. And see, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? Birthday list includes Kimberly Perry. She's got a boy's name. Kimberly Perry's 41 from the band Perry. Their hits, obviously, If I Die Young and so forth. Actually, Kimberly is the girl's version. Kim Bull is the boy's version. I just have the plain K-I-M. I like Kim, named after Kim of Korea, I believe. And on this day in history, it was 2004, 20 years ago today, Apple announced that it sold 100 million songs on iTunes just only after 15 months of opening. The 100 millionth song was Somersault, Danger Mouse remix by 07. Have you ever heard of that? Have anything in those three words?
Danger Mouse.
I told you. Anyway, 404-741-1230. It's only the Kimber. 404-741-1230. Flounder, we're going to play a couple more cuts here, if you don't mind. Oh, first of all, this caught my attention, too. Let's get cut number Hold on a minute now. Here we go. Cut number 6. Last night, he was making all the stupid mistakes, which we'll play for you too. But one thing that really did strike me, and he tried to catch himself halfway through it when he's all of a sudden realized, oh my God, what am I saying? Changed his mind. When all his Democratic heroes, worshipers, are saying he really showed his stuff last night talking about foreign policy. Baloney. Here's how he caught himself when he was talking about whether it's even important to be in contact with Russia anymore these days.
Is Putin ready to talk? I'm not ready to talk to Putin. I'm prepared to talk to any leader who wants to talk, including if Putin called me and wanted to talk.
He repeated over and over and over, I got nothing to say to him. I have no reason to talk to Putin. And I'm thinking to myself, you idiot. They really edited the crap out of that soundbite. It should have gone on for a lot longer than that. But he was saying, there's no reason to talk to Putin. Why should I talk to Putin? He doesn't want to talk to me. Why should I talk to him? And I'm thinking, oh, my God. And again, then he said, well, of course, if he wanted to talk to me. And I'm thinking, holy crap. It's just one thing after another. I don't know anything about foreign policy or diplomacy or anything else. And I know that was the dumbest thing in the world to say. Why would you want to eliminate talking to the guy who's in the war that we're paying for?
There's a great tweet about the foreign policy. Noah, one of the single most incredible things about Biden is that he really does view himself on foreign policy as a combination of Metternich, Bismarck, and Cardinal Richelieu. Not as a guy who screws up everything he touches.
It's more like Neville Chamberlain. My God.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Cardinal Richelieu.
Jeez, yeah, Neville Chamberlain. There's nothing wrong with that Hitler. Not that bad a guy. We can trust him. Oh, okay.
Peace in our time.
Oh, my Lord. It's unbelievable. And by the way, again, the Democrats are still pulling this stuff off. Here's what they've done now. We were all talking about the gaffes of President Crime Family Slimebag Dirtball. And now the Democrats have put out an entire post hitting back at Donald Trump today with a video montage showing Donald Trump's mishaps on the campaign trail. A 2-minute video shows him defeated former President Barack Obama, getting the names of several lawmakers confused. Over and over again, shows him referring to Apple CEO Tim Cook as Tim Apple, and called Paradise, California, Pleasure, California, which had wildfires, appeared to confuse Nancy Pelosi. Anyway, it goes on and on. So the Democrats are, it's like, oh, no big deal. We just keep on going and talking about how bad Trump is, and he's going to be a dictator and all this kind of thing. And it's like nothing happened. They're saying he did a great job last night, and yet $90 million in donations has been frozen from last night's after. That was the word after the debate, after the news conference last night. And what is it now, in 19, 20, 21, I think more are actually elected Democrats are saying you got to get out of the race. And then I'm going to read that whole article again here a little bit later on, probably after it's already 4:57. Got a Flounders Funny come up for a second about the inside story of what's going to happen now, a full-blown civil war in the Democrat National Committee. And it's happening. 4:57 with the Flounders Funnies. There you go. What do you got there, sir?
We were supposed to go see the White House in 6th grade, and we couldn't go because the Gulf War started. And by the way, I didn't even know we were supposed to go. I only found out we weren't going. But our teacher came and said, we can't go. The Gulf War started, and they had to put a fence around the White House. And that was it. Never talked about it a day after that. So I just assumed the Gulf War was on the streets of Washington. It had gotten so bad that they finally had to put a fence around the White House. So I go to D.C. for the first time in my 30s, and I was alone. And I would go to the White House, and I see that fence. And I honestly was like, I remember when they put this fence up. We had a battle over the Gulf of Mexico.
Nate Bargatze?
It is.
I tell you, he's a funny guy. He is a very funny man. 4:58. By the way, Pete, did you watch any of the ESPYs last night? Is that a thing? No. Flounder, you're not. Doesn't seem like an ESPYs award, ESPN type either. I actually tuned in for a minute. I mean, literally, and I felt so uncomfortable. and I didn't get anything. And then I start reading this morning, Serena Williams had got political. And
We're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, are you going to mention that thing? I'm not going to say. I wanted to tease in Holy Crap at Sports coming up here very shortly. And I had him print the story, and apparently that we have some sound of this, too, of what's going on. Again, I tried to watch for like 15 seconds, literally, and I said, oh, my God.
The gist of it is every time you start to think Serena Williams is a decent human being, she proves exactly what she is.
Yeah, let's remember, wasn't she going to rip somebody's throat out? An umpire or something?
She's
Rip your throat out?
Shinola is what she is.
I mean, she's freaking bully. She's just a big muscle-bound bully. I mean, she's not the killer, though. Was Vanessa, what's the other one's name there? Killed that
Venus.
person. Venus killed that other guy. But Serena looks like she wants to. I mean, she's just a monster. Anyway, coming up, Holy Crap of Sports, standing by, more Flounders Funnies, and the inside story on the Civil War and the DNC and all the reaction, and more sound bites from the goofball with a Kipper Pete Flounder. 5 o'clock. Herp, look out.
and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Still hoping to ease the concerns of fellow Democrats about his age and possible path to re-election.
The president understands there is still anxiety from Democrats on Capitol Hill. His campaign spokesperson, Michael Tyler, says...
That's why he's laser focused on demonstrating that he is the best person to take on Donald Trump and defeat him in November.
Tyler spoke with reporters on Air Force One as President Biden flew to a campaign rally in Detroit.
Since last night, we're seeing strong support across our coalition, but most importantly, we're seeing it with our grassroots base.
The Biden campaign says fundraising exploded during last night's press conference with 40,000 donations.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, but the number of Democrats in Congress publicly calling for the president to drop out hit 19 today. Earlier in the day, he had a call with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. The fire season turns deadly in California. Officials finding remains in a home that burned in Mendocino County, where a 66-year-old woman had been reported missing. That wildfire started Monday and is now 70% contained, but it's one of 15 burning across California as a long heat wave continues. Multiple states remain under heat advisories, including Texas, where Hurricane Beryl knocked out power to millions earlier this week. Utility crews hope to have most restored this weekend.
Power outages in Texas have dipped below 1 million for the first time in 5 days after Hurricane Beryl made landfall. And making things worse, it's hot and hot and hot.
It's actually been miserable.
Sweating bullets.
I just want to see them help these elderly people that's in these hot houses.
They're in Houston, where flooding cleanup stretches for miles inland back to the Texas coast.
Fox's Jeff Manasso, the remnants of Beryl causing flooding in Canada. Police in Nova Scotia say one person was swept away by floodwaters. America is listening to Fox News.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land. The place where you can do so much walking. You can walk to work, the bus stop, or the gym, where you can pretend you're walking up an endless flight of stairs. Even when you're flying somewhere, you can take a really long walk through the airport. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, and it's even more relaxing when you protect your boat with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
If you had $1 million in 2009, today it would be worth less than $700,000. Thank you, big government. Hedge against runaway inflation with gold from Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. I trust Birch Gold, and you can too.
Text the word PROTECT to the number 989898 and get a free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a plank. Ready on your dog, target. Road guards out. How you doing? Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder on 106.3. Here's a number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. A lot going on about the debate. I keep saying debate about not only the appearance with the foreign leaders and then the news conference. And by the way, more news. I'm watching on Fox on TV. The Biden campaign is so thrilled with how he did an error-free performance last night. Didn't make a single mistake. Was showing off his knowledge about foreign affairs and how important it is to American people. And oh my God! And also, if you're just joining us, there's what I think could be a blockbuster inside story. And if it's true, or even most of it's true, there's going to be this weekend could be brutal. Hell, isn't the Republican convention next week?
Close.
I think it's
next week or the following week.
I think it's Sunday. I think there's a.
They wouldn't do that in the All-Star week.
No, it's got to be. I think it's next. What is this? July 12th? My daughter's birthday.
It's the next one afterwards.
Yeah. Holy cow! Anyway, so we got this. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. We got a whole bunch of other things to talk about, but let's do a little Trump stuff here, Flounder, if you don't mind. We'll do a couple of quick sound bites. First of all, number one, and again, this started almost immediately where he started making his mistakes. Cut number one from last night's news conference.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
What?
And again, if you haven't seen the video and the pictures of the people reacting when he started making his mistakes like this, just freaking hysterical. In fact, cut number two, he did it again very soon in the very beginning there, Flounder.
I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military, as well as the Secretary of Defense and our intelligence people.
My commander-in-chief and my what did he say of the military? The CEO of the military? There's no such thing. There's literally no such thing.
Commander-in-chief of the military, I think, is what he was.
Well, no, I'll play it again. There were two of them. The commander-in-chief is wrong. He doesn't have a commander-in-chief. And the other one was the something of the military.
I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military,
by chief of staff of the military,
defense, and our intelligence people.
I swear to God, he cannot name the members of his cabinet. He doesn't know what to call them. We knew this when he was elected and naming his people, and he said, "Oh, the general." I keep calling him general over in that big building over there.
He hasn't seen his cabinet members in a year.
Yeah, he hasn't had a cabinet meeting. I mean, this is just absolutely outrageous.
The convention is July 15th through the 18th.
15th, yeah, it's Sunday. I mean, it's like, yeah, today's the 12th and 13, 14, 15.
15th, Monday.
And I think there are speeches on Sunday. I think they're well, maybe it's following Sunday, but they're already talking about it. Here we go. I mean, this is it. We're in. And again, Flounder, let's do one. Let's play the fun montage. I wrote down last night the number from beginning to end of his cliches. The first cliche he said was, "Look, guys." Then he went, "Guess what?" Then, "By the way," which I thought would be more than the rest of them. Next was, "Not a joke." And then, "Anyway." Holy cow. Anyway, last night. Flounder, if you would, sir.
Look, folks, this is well, anyway, in the next debate, I'm not going to be traveling in the 15 time zones a week before. Anyway, I'm catching hell from my wife.
The hell did that come from?
It wasn't about just, anyway, read what his objective is. And anyway, but then again, they're better than a lot of other people here, too. But anyway.
It just... And again, it just goes to show about he is not mentally sharp. He can't keep going with a thought and keep a sentence going without interrupting himself and saying, "Well, I guess I shouldn't talk about that." I mean, he's arguing with himself in his own head about what should be coming out of his mouth.
Better than a lot of people here. Did he talk about his NATO members? Was that who he's talking about? Better than a lot of people here in Europe.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. We don't know. I mean, it's scary. And the Democrats are lauding him, saying, "Oh, but of course, that's, the official thing." And we know behind the scenes, In fact, 508. Let me do this again. This just came in this afternoon, and it's from Black Insurrectionists - I follow back true patriots. I follow and back true patriots, and it says. I got to read the thing here. It's printed up, so it's a copy, so it's hard to read. DocNet YouTube. DOCNET, DocNet YouTube. And I'll read this for you. It says this. I just hung up with my friend who works in D.C. The guy's nailed everything and given me inside scoops for months, have led to viral tweets, correct predictions. He has not been wrong yet. Not sure if I should post this, but Joe Biden is running the country right now. Joe Biden is sleeping up to 16 hours a day. The Biden and Obama family rift has now blown fully open, and any aides loyal to Obama are going to get canned. Obama's going to try and force Joe out. Obama's meeting privately with power players to get them to withdraw funding. I'll stop here for a second. Again, last night after the news conference, the word came out. Democrat donors are withholding $90 million in the largest pro-Biden super PAC if he stays on the ticket. So this is a threat, which I have to assume they're taking for real. $90 million withhold the money right now if he stays on the ticket. Back to this comment. Hollywood will begin to turn on Biden via Obama is telling them. Democrats are making decertification plans in case of a Trump win. Deals are being attempted with some Republicans right now to turn on Trump. Boy, if that's true, once again, these are the people who went to the Supreme Court over Al Gore, for God's sakes. They have been the election deniers from the beginning. It's never the Republicans, it's always the Democrats. Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Farcabbage says she was cheated. They're all denied every freaking election. They went to the Supreme Court, for God's sakes, anyway. So if that happens, there's going to be a revolt. There's going to be a real insurrection. If a full-blown civil war in the DNC, Democrat National Committee, and an attempt to make sure Trump does not get elected at any cost is now happening. Many in D.C. are already saying that the Biden family has completely obliterated the Constitution with how they're running the country. Obama has the CIA and the NSA in his corner. Bad news for Biden. The Biden family has cut Joe Biden off to anyone other than a few close people. Now, the Hurd tapes, the investigator who tape recorded and interviewed Biden to see whether he should be charged with a crime for doing the same thing Donald Trump did, was having classified documents at your personal place. Of course, the fact is Joe Biden had them, and he had them from when he was vice president. He didn't have any authority to have those documents ever, period. Donald Trump had the authority because he was president and could declassify them. That's arguable, but that's what they're saying. But again, remember, Biden had no right at all to have those documents there, and so they interviewed him, and her report said that he's a feeble old man with a bad memory, and people would feel sorry for him. He would never be convicted because he has a terrible memory and they don't know what's going on. And then, so now Republicans say, we want to see the tapes. We want to hear the tapes. There are tapes if they haven't erased. I'll bet they've erased them. And someone is going to go to prison for that. Anyway, here, let me talk about this here. This again from this inside guy who supposedly is always right. The Hurd tapes are completely different than the transcription. The desperation to keep them is because apparently Joe Biden had full-blown dementia during most of that interview, and some are saying the transcripts are in fact doctored. I was even warned that I probably should not post this, but the hell with it. I hate the DNC. I hate Democrats. The quicker we get rid of the Democrat Party, the better off we will all be. But that includes getting rid of the GOP. Both parties suck. Anyway, last night, press conference did nothing. There was a full court press on to get rid of Joe Biden. It's intensifying. Watch for leaks to the press about Joe Biden and things that are happening behind the scenes. If the Hurd tapes come out, it will be the end of Biden for sure, and will lead to prosecutions because of the doctoring of the transcriptions. Internal polling has been disastrous. Many saying Biden has no path to win. If he were to win, the country would go up in flames. Crazy times we live in. And again, Pete, you just mentioned from one of the sources used to be in the Treasury Department that those Hurd tapes, in fact, were they believe the Hurd tapes were doctored. And the transcripts of what he said are not real. And I remember the guy even described in the press release or in the conversations he had, there were parts of it where Biden was talking about the documents near his old classic Corvette, and he was doing car sounds like, oh yeah, they're near my Corvette. You know, go vroom, 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 vroom. Boy, I love that car. Vroom, vroom. Making car sounds during an investigation into his mental capacity to stand trial for federal crimes. He's being interviewed by a federal investigator to see if he should stand trial, and he's making car sounds? Oh, jeez. We got to hear the tapes. And maybe they're holding that over. I'll bet this weekend, it's all going to come out this weekend. I'll bet Monday it's going to be over. Anyway, we'll see. 5:14, Holy Crap in Sports is coming up next. Kemper, Pete, and Flounder. Let It Rip Friday and more Pete's Tweets, Flounder's Funnies. We got it all for you here with Pete Davis next and Holy Crap, it's actual sports. Look out. Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
You want to talk about desperation. Desperation is telling the American people that no matter what you're seeing, it's fake. Everybody knows those videos weren't fake. They're not deep fakes. They're not AI fakes. They're not anything except for the truth. No, nobody is taking advantage of these situations. Nothing is fake. Everything you saw was true.
What we've officially hit, according to KJP, 1984. Do not believe your eyes and ears. What we tell you is the finality of the truth, and that is all that is going to exist. But the reason why you don't see these videos is because this administration have made it virtually impossible for you to see these videos. You have to see them on the internet in order to be able to watch them. And so they're trying to hide the fact that this man is clearly in decline, and it's accelerating.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Echo and Howard Brothers. Looking for powerful, eco-friendly tools? Discover Echo's E-Force Battery Tool Series. They will make your hard work outside much easier. With long-lasting battery life, less maintenance, and exceptional performance, Echo E-Force tools are perfect for any job, big or small. Stop into your local Howard Brothers today and power up your lawn experience with Echo Power Equipment. Howard Brothers is your trusted source for all of your outdoor needs. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. We handle bonds throughout Metro Atlanta, including from our newest offices in Cherokee County and Clayton County. In most cases, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Have you heard the buzz about Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy?
Thanks, Tara. I'm Dr. Eugene Wallace, CEO and head of schools of Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy in Austell, Georgia. We are Christian, scholarly, affordable, and relational. Seeds of Excellence is committed to nurturing the whole child, spirit, mind, and body. From daily Bible classes to weekly chapel services, advanced technology, world languages, fine arts, athletics, national competitions, and a dedicated team of great professionals, our scholars from 6th weeks to 8th grade receive quality care through a premier education grounded in Christian worldviews. By blending the Abeka curriculum with Georgia State standards, we offer a comprehensive and faith-based learning environment that equips our scholars for success. We are thrilled to partner with Our Town Monthly. We want everyone in the community to read all about us.
You're right, Doc. Seeds of Excellence is a perfect fit. Friends, explore SOECA.net and experience the difference today.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve. But one who genuinely cares about each player
You have what it takes. We got this.
can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Hey, ho, hey, Lee Brandt Jewelers, our sponsor of the 5 o'clock hour, where you can get luxury jewelry and watches in affordable ways every time. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. Hey, wait a minute. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Good thoughts and prayers going out for Atlanta sports living legend Jeff Hollinger. He's been under the weather for a few days now, recuperating at Emory Hospital. So I hope everything's going okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, I'll put my lucky star on it.
Good. Good for that. Jeff's one of the good guys.
Yes, he is.
Braves offense disappeared again as they got shut out in Arizona 1-0 last night. Austin Riley and Marcell Ozuna had 2 hits apiece, but the only other Brave to get a knock was Orlando Arcia. Max Fried deserved better. Again, he falls to 7-5, went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run on 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The Friars' only run came on a Eugenio Suarez solo shot in the 5th. They begin a 3-game set in San Diego tonight. The 2-4 Spencer Schwellenbach for Atlanta and right-hander Matt Waldron for the Padres. He's 5-7. Bravos are 9.5 games behind the Phillies. The Pods are in second place in the NL West, 7 games back of the Dodgers.
I can't believe how are we 9.5 games behind the Phillies?
Because the Phillies are a better team.
God, yeah, but they've lost their 2 guys. I mean, it's unbelievable.
They lost their 3 best players and went 5-5. They just swept the Dodgers like they were nothing.
It's unbelievable.
They're having one of those special years so far.
Yeah.
Bleacher Report walk-off tweets their list of top 10 pitching staffs. The Braves are number 2. Behind the Phils. Yeah, well. And speaking of which, we just said, they just whipped the Dodgers like they were friggin'
unreal
Twins or something. The Kimmer, ESPN, and their ilk have gotten their wish. Pirates rookie phenom and gymnast enthusiast Paul Skeens will indeed start the All-Star game next week for the National League. The news comes on the heels of Skeens nearly throwing a no-hitter yesterday in Milwaukee. The 22-year-old has only started 11 games, yet will be handed the ball to begin the All-Star game in Texas. He's 6-0, an ERA of 1.90, and he found out he was starting while appearing on the Dan Patrick radio show. Arizona manager Torey Lovullo called up and gave him the good news while he was on the air.
Oh, my goodness. No
That's
kidding.
Pretty cool.
Wow, cool.
One of the greatest defensive minds in both college football and the NFL has passed. Monty Kiffin, the defensive wizard who spent more than 50 years coaching, died yesterday at age 84. His son Lane, the head coach at Ole Miss, Monty was surrounded by family and friends over in Oxford. He'd been a defensive analyst for Ole Miss since 2020. He spent 13 seasons as a DC with the Buccaneers, working with Tony Dungy to build the vaunted Tampa 2 scheme, helped the Bucs win the Super Bowl in 2002, and that was copied by other teams around the league for years. That defense that Monty coordinated was the best unit that ever played for Tampa Bay, former Bucs safety John Lynch says. Lynch now the GM of the 49ers. 3 years ago, Kiffin became the first and only assistant coach in the Bucs Ring of Honor. He coached Hall of Famers like Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Lynch, and Ronde Barber. Spent 25 years in the league. Also served as a coordinator for the Vikings, Saints, and Cowboys. Beginning a career in 1966 as a grad assistant in Nebraska, and he learned under Hall of Famers Tom Osborne and Bob Devaney.
Oh, my
Pretty
God.
good guys
Old Nebraska boys, yeah. Wow.
He worked his way up to NC State head coach from 1980 to 82, went 16 and 17, the only time he was the head coach. Monty Kiffin, a life well lived, 84 years old.
Wow. I'll be darned.
Someone on Twitter claims that Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders said he wants to play for... Which NFL team do you think he'd want to play for more than any other team?
The Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons. That's right, sir. And, of course, his daddy and head coach Deion Sanders is calling that out as BS. Because Deion couldn't wait to get out of here, by the way. He tweeted, "Please stop lying on us. Show me where Shedeur said what teams he desired to play for. That's something we don't do. God bless whomever was the genesis of this lie. We love you and hope you attain what you desire. A lie don't care who tells it. Hashtag dad, hashtag Coach Prime."
Brother. Is he even any good? I mean, is this
Oh, he's going to be one of the top 2 or 3 if he has a decent year. He's one of the top 2 or 3 draft picks. He is good. His ego. He knows it, though. Man, his head is huge. Yeah. Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz took out Russian Daniil Medvedev in 4 sets to move on to the championship match Sunday at Wimbledon. Carlos will now face Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
So that should be a good final. Those two guys go at it.
Yeah.
Alcaraz one victory away from joining Boris Becker and Bjorn Borg, the only men in the Open era, started in 1968, with multiple championships at the All England Club before turning 22.
Wow. That's very special.
He's already won the U.S. Open and the French Open. The kid is amazing to watch. And just when you feel good about sports, along comes a spoiled, ultra-liberal, pampered athlete to make things ugly again. Serial biatch Serena Williams appeared with her sister Venus and some Oompa Loompa woman I've never heard of on the ESPY Awards last night. If you don't know what the ESPYs are, it's the annual circle cluster tug the college class holds every year to pat themselves on the back and tell each other how great and important they are because they don't get enough attention the rest of the year. So during yet another lecture about how we should all be watching women's sports, Serena comes out and said this.
So go ahead and enjoy women's sports like you would any other sports because they are sports. Yes. Except you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you.
What the?
And the munchkin beside her says, "At all, like ever."
Because he believes in family values and God and a woman being able to do what she wants and be supported by her husband.
And be home if she wants to stay home.
What's wrong with that? A woman get to do what she wants for her own good benefit and that of her family. Yeah, what a horrible idea that is.
Yeah, he's the place kicker for the Super Bowl champion Chiefs who dared to exercise his free speech rights. And women's rights champion Riley Gaines had the best response to Serena and her Oompa Loompa friend, tweeting, "Just a reminder that these women have stayed silent about a 6'4", less than mediocre man stealing an NCAA title from a deserving woman. But God forbid a devout Catholic share a Catholic message to Catholic students at a Catholic university." Also remember that these are the same woke idiots not standing up for Caitlin Clark and telling you to vote for Biden. Which reminds me, Serena also joked that only white people like Caitlin.
Oh, God. You know, these people...
Showing what she is.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Unlike the BET Awards, the ESPYs did not mention O.J. Simpson during their in memoriam segment. Cowards.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes Sr., the dad of Chiefs superstar quarterback Patrick Jr., arrested again. This time in Texas for driving on an invalid license less than half a year from his arrest for DWI.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Which is why he doesn't have a license.
And San Jose... No. Who needs a license, for God's sake? I'm the father of...
You don't have a licence.
Licence. Well, he's a... What do you expect? He's dysfunctional. He's a former Mets player.
Yeah, well,
that explains it all. San Jose State has a unique problem. Keeping their practice fields clean for football and soccer players. Their opponent is quick, it's mobile, it flies, and it's dirty, very dirty. Every evening, geese swoop down and fertilize the Spartans' practice fields, and they've gotten tired of picking up the bird poop, so they went and got some help. Enter Wile E. Coyote Genius. The school bought 4 fake plastic coyotes, placed them on the field, and the coyotes look so real, the geese are afraid of them. So no longer can you ask how fast guano runs through a goose, at least in San Jose. It's working. On this day, July 12th, 1945, Tommy Holmes of the Boston Braves, the modern-day National League record hitting streak, came to an end in a loss to the Cubs. He hit .433 during the streak. He finishes at .352 for the season. Holmes struck out just 9 times in 714 appearances on the plate. His 37-game hitting streak still a franchise record for the Braves. Pete Rose, of course, broke that with a 44 streak later on, which the Braves stopped with Gene Garber and Larry McWilliams.
There you go.
1992, Jeff Blauser, the 4th shortstop ever to hit 3 homers in a game as the Braves beat the Cubs 7-4, and he did it at Wrigley, and I thought when he went to the Cubs, I thought he's going to become a superstar up there hitting Wrigley Field, and it didn't pan out, which I never understood why, because I thought he was perfect. He was like an Ernie Banks type. I thought he'd always hit one right into the basket, and it didn't work out.
We did a show for a while. He would call in my show once a week.
Guy.
A very nice guy. And in fact, I tell a quick Jeff Blauser story. Sluggo, our former manager, made a deal with Jeff Blauser, and the deal was that Jeff Blauser, as I understand it, the deal was that Jeff Blauser, instead of getting money to be paid to call in once a week during the season, whatever, with me, be on my show, that he would get a full bass boat thing with a trailer and all this stuff and stuff like that. And so, it just wasn't coming. Blauser was doing the show and he wasn't getting his boat. So apparently he went up to Bass Pro Shops and said, "Yeah, I'm Jeff Blauser, and I'm supposed to get all this stuff." And so they gave it to him, and he got his stuff and just sent the bill down to Sluggo. And apparently that he had to go get it on his own because he weren't doing anything. And I don't know whether I assume it all came out okay. But anyway, what a character. When we went down to spring training once, when Rush Limbaugh was there, and that's why I have my picture of me. I showed on my Facebook page today. Had me a picture of Rush Limbaugh. Was at an event down in Florida for spring training, and Blauser. I was smoking a cigar, and Blauser came up to me while I was talking to Rush Limbaugh, took the cigar out of my mouth, put it in his mouth, and started smoking it.
Oh. No, never. No, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Sorry, that's my... And the picture of Jeff Blauser and Lemke, arm in arm in front of the blazing Atlanta Fulton County Stadium fire. We started with a kit, one of the burning kits. A Sterno cup. To keep food warm.
At the GST
set the thing on fire. Flames flying. I got that picture.
Finally, 1979, after a delay of an hour and 16 minutes, the White Sox forced to forfeit the second game of a doubleheader against the Tigers when over 5,000 fans refused to leave the field during disco demolition night.
That's right. And in fact, that was Steve Dahl. 7,000 fans charged the field. The second game of the doubleheader was canceled. The Sox had to forfeit the game. There were fireworks and explosions. It's hysterical. Anyway, a quick sports birthday, Pete, if you don't mind. Crap, hold on. Here we go. Brock Lesnar is 47, the WWE superstar. And Christy Yamaguchi, Olympic gold medalist, Dancing with the Stars champion. Christy Yamaguchi is 53 years old, Olympic champ. Anyway, Holy Grail Sports, Pete Davis at 531. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and so much more coming up here. Look out.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Two more Georgia football players were arrested and charged with reckless driving. Jonathan Bo Hughley was booked in Athens Clark County Jail on charges of failure to maintain lane and reckless driving and was involved in a single car crash. The following night, Smile Munden was charged with reckless driving and racing on the street. The school has not released any comment. A Carroll County deputy was surprised after he was called out by Michelle Turner to talk to her grandson about the dangers of riding his bike on a busy highway. The deputy found 3 minors at the location and was told by the kids that they were home alone. The grandmother, Michelle Turner, said she was tired of taking care of all the kids that belonged to Jessica and Steve Bailey. The deputy reported the stench of animal urine and feces, no food in the house, and no cooling system. Jessica and Steve were arrested for cruelty to children and transported to the Carroll County Jail.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
All right, look out now. How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer, 532. And we got Pete's tweets and other Flounders Funny and all kinds of stuff coming up, including where you go get your new safe. You know you need a safe. Well, you may not know you need a safe. And again, it's my fault. I should be educating you better than I am right now. When I lost my medical records and went to the VA to say, wow, go away, thank you so much. And my Social Security card. Yeah, try getting that replaced in person one day, too. Anyway, stuff like that goes in your safe. Now my kids know what to do. If something happens to me, I have my dental records and I have medical records and I have my any kind of banking stuff and then my credit card information, all that stuff. They know exactly where it is, what's going on, as well as things you want to save that are of more personal nature that you don't want to get rid of, and maybe some wonderful, happy memories. Also, things like your guns. If you're a new gun owner in particular, they have pistol safes, which are beautiful. Check them out on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and they can, man, Jeff and Mark will show you anything, including, I mentioned the big big gun safes. I've had a couple of those. They can bolt them from the inside right into your concrete garage floor or game room or whatever. But they can make these any way you want them. A gun safe is larger than your basic pistol safe, obviously, but they have nooks and crannies in there and shelving. They can put anything you want to make it exactly what you need. Please check them out. These are wonderful guys. It's a non-woke company protecting your rights and your stuff. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. Showroom in Ackworth, AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to them, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911. Online at stopmyed.com. Are you self-employed? Did you receive 1099s in 2021? Congress approved up to $32,220 in refundable COVID tax credits for you, not loans. This is your money, up to $32,220, waiting for you to claim it. Check your eligibility in less than 30 seconds at smartsetc.com. Our former IRS auditors will help you claim it. It's fast, easy, and has no upfront cost. Millions qualify, but time is running out. Visit smartsetc.com now and check your eligibility in just 30 seconds. That's smartsetc.com. Well,
that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry.
This does not sound.
That'll be the day when I die.
A little Buddy Holly song, but this is the Quarrymen. On this day, 1968, the Quarrymen, featuring John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, John Duff Lowe on piano, and Colin Hanton on drums, recorded a vanity disc at a small studio in an electronics shop owned by a guy named Percy Phillips. They recorded this song, That'll Be the Day, and In Spite of Danger, in one take, with the names of the tunes and the song's writer's hand written on the label. Each band member was to keep the 10-inch, 78 RPM disc for a week before passing it on. Both recordings eventually ended up on Anthology 1. And by the way, that was the Quarrymen, but on this day, and that was 1958, I beg your pardon, that was 1958. In 1969, the actual Beatles recorded the Ballad of John and Yoko, and it hit number 8 on the singles chart, but it was banned by radio stations across the country for the lyric using CHRIST, you know it ain't easy. We've talked about that before, and so that was banned. Anyway, there's a little update on the Beatles and the Quarrymen for you. Our birthday list includes Lisa Nicole Carson. She was Renee on Ally McBeal. She's 55. I always thought she was beautiful. Sweet, beautiful black actress woman. Just a sweet actress. Lisa Nicole Carson, 55. And let's see. Oops, Daisy, hold on. A sports thing here, Pete. Kind of an ironic thing. In 1931, a new record in Major League Baseball, the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals hit a combined total of 23 doubles in one game. That seems like a lot. 540. I'm sorry?
Was that whole Ally McBeal period of your life, was that like a transitional thing going on with your sexuality?
I think at that time, I believe I had a situation in my life where I was being, bossed around because I wanted to get various things, and in order to get various things, you have to do various things. And so I believe, I used to like a Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, too. I used to watch that every freaking week. And Sarah Jessica Horseface, too. What the hell was that one? Valley Girl, City and the Girl? What is it? Girl in the City? The silly girl.
Sex in the City.
Sex in the City, yeah. I used to say, wait, I never missed those. No, I never missed one of them. No, I was right there bringing things. Would you like something, honey? Yeah, it was great. 540. I'm tingling now, just some memories. Sorry. I'll be fine now. 540, Kimmer, Pete, and Founder. 404.
I thought I'd throw that nugget of joy out there.
The cleaning crew just came in. My God. I've never seen them come in this early before. Anyway, sorry. 541 now. Let's call it 5. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. I don't even know where to go. I got so many weird things. Democrat Party, here's what they're up to now. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Democrat City. Guess what? The mayor is a Tim Keller, and when he was hired 7 years ago, he said, we're going to overhaul the government with our anti-racist ideals. Inequity was growing, and we have to stop it to change our culture. So his early first hired consultant was Zamil Salhab of a consulting firm whose views include the military in America is the home of white supremacy. This guy, Salhab Zamir, is a genderqueer first-generation Afro-American and post-9/11 veteran. First generation and being black, being queer, and then go on into what I believe is a home of white supremacy and patriarchy. He says, the military, little did I realize what damage there would be doing to myself and what I'd have to go through in order to deconstruct myself after getting out of the service. Society not only teaches that black bodies are less than, and so then to be a woman, so to deal with those different intersectionalities of white supremacy construct, it was, a period of time I thought it was nuts. I thought it was going crazy. Jesus, give me a freaking break. I'm so tired of these freaking phony fakers. Serious. In the military. Honestly, we have to stop this.
Put a soap in a sock and deal with it.
Well, we had blanket parties. At Paris Island, boy, when you get covered up with a blanket, when you're in your rack, and you know what's coming. And it's true, the bar of soap in a sock is a very serious weapon. Anyway, not that they ever did it to me. And now, here we go again, more liberals. In Sacramento, a high school biology teacher has been suspended because he gave a test. He actually 3 times, 3 different classes. He gave a biology final to 3 different classes before finally the principal heard about it and took away the 4th test. One such question. Quote, and I'll put some names in here that they've crossed out. In high school, there are individuals who are cross-eyed like Sarah and other students like Bill who are cross-eyed, which is a dominant trait. We call those individuals weirdos. So if you cross 2 weirdos like Bill and Sarah who are heterozygous for being cross-eyed, what is the offspring that would result? Oh, okay. And he used their names. He actually pointed to the students with their names. Another question. For some reason, the African American culture has influenced most of the student body. How? In African Americans, they have a gene for the pimp walk, which is dominant. What is the result if you cross Bill's homozygous dominant Latina with a homozygous recessive Hmong like Bill and Chung Tong? The high school population is 97% non-white. By the way, another personal vendetta against students he alleged were sleeping in class. Oh, my God. What if they mated involving their genes? He said, within the bounds of the test, in no way do I promote students being sexually active, but he said, if you're sleeping in class, what would happen if you were mated with your particular genes? And then this high school principal, Jim Peterson, came in and took away the test, but then this teacher put a copy of the final on a projector screen and told him to take it anyway. Dear God. Oh, by the way, one student got a grade of 0 because he had no part of this, and that dragged his average down to a D, which meant he had to take summer school to play on the baseball team. I mean, holy smokes. That's ruined your whole summer because of this guy's biology test? I don't think so.
Would never have happened to me.
His parents went nuts, and the teacher apologized, and the principal apologized, but the grade stuck, has not been corrected, and the kid's been enrolled in summer school.
Oh, that guy would be so fired.
I tell you what, we'd be marching on his house. Holy, I mean, can you believe that? God.
That guy.
Oh, Lordy. Anyway, it's already 5:45. I can't believe it. Kim Rapine and Flounder. Flounder's Funnies coming up. And any more tweet reaction and more, we'll play some more sound bites. We got all this stuff coming up next. Kim Rapine and Flounder, 5:45 on 106.7. 404-741-1230 is the number right here. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Is there any truth to the saying that better the devil you know than the devil you don't know? You know Trump. You know he's a big mouth. You also know he's decisive and loves America. The devil you know. Joe Biden? You don't even know who's yanking his chain right now. The devil you don't know. Think about it.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Well, Stephen, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we ran your background check and there were several red flags.
Like what?
You were arrested 7 times for reckless driving.
So?
So you're applying for the school's bus driver position.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon Background Screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future? Protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease. Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademark Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you are absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Here we go.
Walking through a party in the county jail. Yeah. The prison band was there, they began to
It's Elvis.
The band was jumping and the joint began to swing. You should have heard this knocked out jailbird sing that.
That's rock, baby. A little jailbird action, 1954. 19-year-old Elvis Presley signed a recording contract with Sun Records. He also gave his notice at his day job at the Crown Electric Company. Sam Phillips was Sun Records originally wanted to use the 19-year-old to make demos of songs meant for other people. But he soon realized that here's the guy who could bridge the gap between white and black performances. And again, Elvis was a black-raised music fan in the black community and black churches and choirs and stuff like that. Let's see, is that Elvis Presley? I'll quickly hold on a second here. Birthday list includes Topher Grace is 46. He was Eric on That 70s Show and Venom in Spider-Man 3. I always thought he was going to be a bigger star for some reason. Maybe he isn't, I don't know. But he always seemed like one of the guys who, like in Guys and Friends, all became major guys, and he never did for some reason. It may not be a thing, but anyway, just an observation. And on history this day, Julius Caesar was born in 100 BC today. Julius Caesar is why we have the month of July named for Julius Caesar. On this day in politics, 1984, Walter Mondale, the Democratic presidential nominee, picked Geraldine Ferraro as his running mate because they were all behind you, Senator Eagleton. She was the first female on the party ticket, Democrat Party there for
Caesar salad. Remember that?
Caesar salad. I used to like Caesar salads.
I love Caesar salad.
With enough dressing. I like a lot of dressing on my salad, a lot of creamy dressings and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind anchovies in a salad. I do. I don't like them a lot. lot. I'll pick them out, but I'll have the flavor will still be in there if you take them out. But I won't eat them raw or eat them on a cracker or something. I won't do that. I used to eat sardines on a cracker. You believe that?
That's disgusting.
When I was a kid, I'd come home I remember coming home from school and look for a snack, and my mother would open up the cupboard and give me a can of sardines, and I would take that little winder thing, a little metal winder thing around the edge and unwind the thing, and there were those freaking sardines sitting there in mustard sauce or something. I'd put them on saltines and eat the damn things right there.
Ugh.
I can't believe it.
When was the last time you did that?
I'll tell you, it's probably 1957.
Wow.
Maybe 1958.
It's kind of like Vienna sausages. You ate them when you were a kid, but now...
I used to eat those and there's nothing to them. They're all lightweight. I mean, they're like paper or something. I mean, it's a damnedest thing. I'm about to say goodbye to the boss here. Hey, Silverface, he's got the new beard going, dude. He's got the new beard looking good. Have you seen the new... You haven't seen the boss lately. He's got a great white... I wish I had a white beard. Pete's got a great white beard, gray beard. He's got a beautiful white beard, Mr. Dickey.
Really?
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a while. Anyway,
it looks great. I haven't seen it, but it looks great.
Yeah, no, it does. You'd like it. It really does. Cool. All right, let's see what else we got here. Hold on. Forget all the rest of the stuff. Here we go.
Yeah, hey, a couple more tweets about the thing yesterday.
Yeah.
Aaron says Vice President Trump should invoke the 25th Amendment immediately.
Vice President Trump. Yeah.
Eric Bowling says it's over, folks. Someone hit the lights. It's over. And here's my favorite tweet from yesterday. Bill said foreign spies likely knew of Biden's decline, to which Peter responded, because they have televisions?
They have eyes. And by the way, just in two, there's actual video. Biden just arrived in Michigan, his first order of business. There's video of President Crime Family arriving in Michigan. He says hi to the crowd and walks over and starts sniffing a little girl who looks horrified. God, oh man, God only knows how many children are victims of this guy. Why does he always do this? It's creepy. Biden's a creep. Ask his daughter, Ashley. He ended his press conference on a weird note, a long pause followed by a creepy whisper. I remember that last night. Sniffing a child, taking naps, what's for dinner? A life for the day in the life of big boy Biden. Oh my God. Just he's sniffing little girls again.
He's a pedo.
Jeez.
In my opinion.
God, wow, man, that's just so bad. A couple of bizarre animal stories in the news here. This is a teenage girl, 19-year-old, was with her boyfriend in Romania, and they were in a park, and all of a sudden she saw a bear coming, so she got on her telephone and started calling 911, their version of it, and all of a sudden the rescuer could hear her on the phone. He says, oh my God, she's terrified. I can hear this girl screaming. She says, the bear's getting closer, and the guy says, oh my God, she's screaming and screaming. The bear grabs her by the leg, drags her off into the woods, and then throws her over a 400-foot cliff. And then the bear went down the cliff to guard her, dead body. And when the rescuers showed up, they had to go down the cliff to find her body. The bear was guarding it and charged them, so they killed the bear.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, the bear was coming after him.
Bears they have in Romania? Brown bears.
I don't know.
Yeah, brown bears.
And by the way, a Spanish tourist was crushed to death by an angry herd of elephants in front of his screaming fiancée. He got out of their tourist bus in this sanctuary place, and the elephants were coming. They said, get back in the bus, get back in the bus. And he tried to get a picture. They stormed him, stomped him to death. And by the way, the witnesses say after the 30-second attack, all they found was his blood-soaked clothing. The remnants of what used to be his body crushed into the earth. They found his clothes after the entire herd of crushed him. Oh. Good Lord. And by the way, this is even worse. This was in India. Mayu Mamu was collecting water in her village in the district of Odisha, India. A herd of elephants came her way. She tried to flee. One of the elephants rushed toward her and trampled her. She was rushed to the hospital but died. The family brought her home for the funeral that same night. As the ceremony was taking place, the same herd of elephants showed up at her place, sending the villagers running, so they left her body there while they all fled into the woods. One of the elephants then went up to the woman's corpse, picked her up by the body, and threw her into the air, ladies and gentlemen. They killed her and then came back for the funeral to kill her again. Oh my!
Well, they have long memories.
And then they just went off into the woods. No big deal. Oh my!
She threw a rock at one of them 20 years ago.
Well, it's
and
like,
they remember.
It's like the guy. One elephant trainer was using a bamboo stick on him in India, and he hit the elephant in the knee. And the elephant apparently that was one time, one kick in the knee with a stick too many, and the elephant picked him up and killed him, slammed him to the ground, and just killed him and stomped him right there.
There's a headline on Reuters. Romanian lawmakers called back from recess to address bear attacks.
Oh, my God. What are we going to do now? Oh, Lordy. Anyway, 550. Oh, by the way, if you know the best-selling author Brendan Dubois, he was also a Jeopardy champion. He's done a whole bunch of things with James Patterson books, Lewis Cole mystery series, stuff like that. Well, this guy, Brendan Dubois, has been caught with hundreds and thousands of child pornography pictures and has been arrested. He is married, and apparently the wife is numb to police, but says we have separate computers. Oh, Lord. Oh, Founders at 5:58. What do you got there, sir?
I think I figured out a way to end racism, by the way. Here's how we do it. We just got to end race. From here on out, we just got to have nothing but mixed babies. Listen to me. Listen to me. Mixed people will end racism because you can't hate what you don't know what they are. We're two separate, black, white, Asian, Latin, Middle Eastern. We got to spend more time together, guys, and we got to our way out of racism. Who's with me? Yes.
Sex out of racism.
Yes. It starts tonight, and I'm calling dibs on Asians. Look. I don't like this any more than you guys do, believe me. I don't think you guys hear what I'm saying. I'm saying no more black, no more white. I'm talking about khaki. Khaki-colored people with Asian yet round eyes. Nappy yet flowing hair. I want every man in America to look like one of those LMFAO party rocking in the house tonight dudes.
What the hell? Who's that, Flounder?
Mr. Neil Brennan.
Neil Brennan. We remember Neil Brennan. Anyway... Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, I gotta go. You're killing me. Hoorah. And Semper Fi, Christine, sing me home. Boys, have a great weekend. And hoorah, see you on Monday. Look out. Stand by.
Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.